Final score, Nebraska 44, Wisconsin 25. Coming up, our postgame show brought to you by your local Wisconsin and UP Ford dealers. This is Badger football from Learfield.
Hi, Mark and Sarah Tauscher here. We are teaming up with American Family Insurance for yet another season of giving.
Together, we're raising funds for American Family Children's Hospital Virtual Toy Drive. Every dollar goes towards purchasing therapeutic play supplies for pediatric patients.
This year, American Family Insurance is matching all donations up to $50,000. So help us support this critical program for children and their families.
Let's gift joy, lift spirits, and deliver happiness.
Learn more at amfamforkids.org.
Need reliable waste and recycling services? Choose LRS. Driven by service and dedicated to sustainability. We're your partner in efficient waste management. Need more? We also offer convenient dumpster rentals and clean portable restrooms for any event or project. Trust LRS for
one of our 22 starters from game one will start in this ball game. There's not many coaches in the country can say that. So I'm excited about that. We've got a healthy football team and hopefully be able to put our best guys out there in front of the Irish.
Notre Dame has one of the most efficient offenses in the country. They might have the best defense in the country. How do you go about attacking this Fighting Irish squad?
We've got to approach this game like we do all the others. We've got to control the ball. That means controlling the game on offense, limiting the possessions of Notre Dame, trying to sustain drives on offense, and then defensively not giving up big plays. We've got to keep everything in front of us. Sometimes that allows other teams to hit some plays in front of us, but if they're not for touchdowns, we get a chance to play another snap and have opportunities to keep them out of the end zone. So that's really our philosophy. It has been all year. And so if we can do that against them, we'll at least give ourselves a chance.
Jeff, your team's been out there 9 times this year, has come up with 9 victories in as many games. How do you know this moment isn't going to be too big for them at Yankee Stadium?
We've got a mature team, and our guys have handled the success with great professionalism. They've been mature enough and been able to put all of the previous games behind us. We've got a lot of guys that have played a lot of football and been around here for a while. Mature teams can do that. So I've been really proud of the leadership of our captains and our senior class, and they've just really been remarkable in terms of their ability to focus on just what's right in front of us. So I know they're excited about this game and the opportunity it presents, but I think they'll handle it like they have all the others and just be prepared to do their very best from play to play.
And Jeff, I got to ask you, you've coached one other game at Yankee Stadium 10 years ago, the victory over UConn. Joe Walker, 2 touchdowns. That game remembered with the Chris Carnegie 99-yard interception return for a touchdown. What memories, what feelings does that game and this Yankee Stadium evoke?
That was such a great night for Army football. Just a lot of fun for our players. I was so proud of our team and the resiliency they showed, especially late in the game. To dress in the Yankee clubhouse and to come out of the dugout and walk into one of the most iconic venues in sports. It's just awesome. And it's going to be awesome for this team. And I'll be as excited to go out there on Saturday as our players, and it's a great opportunity for me and personally just to be able to be a competitor in Yankee Stadium. There's a lot of people that watch a lot of games and buy tickets in that stadium and have watched the great Yankee teams over the many decades, World Series champions, and just dream of being able to step foot on that field. And we're all going to get to go out there on that field and play a game, so it's pretty special.
Thanks, Jeff. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
That's Rich DeMarco with head coach Jeff Monken. Our player spotlight tonight, senior quarterback Bryson Daly, arguably the best to play the position at West Point in generations. Keep in mind, 2 of the biggest games on the schedule the last 2 years, Daly missed with injury a year ago at LSU and this year against Air Force. But today, he'll be out on the field against a blue blood football program with something to prove, maybe, and with all the nation watching. He spoke to RD about getting after the Irish.
It's awesome. It's a great opportunity for the guys, for this program. Just a great opportunity to play in a big stadium, team like this. We're excited to go 1-0 this week like we have all season. So, that's the goal and that's the mentality.
I know it's 1-0 this week. You're someone that has had a great historical context of Army and Army football. How much are you aware of the history between Army and Notre Dame? And now, being able to take part in another chapter in this rivalry?
Both programs, obviously, were powerhouses in the past, have had great success throughout the years since the beginning of football and college football. Played a ton, some Heisman winners on both sides, some great players that have played in the league. So it's really cool being able to be a part of history like that. Excited about it.
You've had such a great year, week after week. A few weeks ago, having to miss the Air Force game. How hard was that for you?
Very difficult. You always want to be out there with the guys, and especially in a game like that against a rival, you want to be out there just helping the effort to try to beat those guys. The way the team played, the way the team rallied, really made it a lot easier because I knew they'd have it. I knew the defense was going to play tough, and I knew Dwayne was going to be able to handle it. So I'm so proud of those guys and how they played that game. Made it a lot easier.
You say made a lot easier from having that perspective, having to watch a game of a team that you've been leading the whole year. Do you think that made you better, giving you that perspective for the rest of this season?
I did. It gave me a bigger appreciation just being out here at practice every day, being in the film room with the guys and just really enjoying every moment because you never know when it's going to be your last game. It also made me realize it's a lot more stressful watching it than actually playing it. That was brutal.
We've seen the interview requests for you grow week after week. How much has it meant to you, the team's success, and being able to tell your story, your family's story, where you came from to come to West Point? What's that experience meant for you?
I think you said it. It all comes to the team's success. The success this team's had and all the guys around me has led to all those, the media stuff. And it's been awesome to be able to, give back to the people who got me here, like, my parents, my family, my hometown. That's been awesome just to tell their story and kind of give people an understanding of how we as cadets get here and how this roller coaster ride happens for us as football players. So it's been awesome, and a lot of guys got to share their story as well, so it's been pretty cool.
What would a win against Notre Dame in Yankee Stadium mean for you as a captain and as a member of this program?
It'd be unbelievable, and that's the goal. We 100% expect to go 1-0 this week. That's our goal every week, but this week's no different. We're just excited for the opportunity and excited to play these guys.
Bryson, thanks for a few minutes, as always, and best of luck here against the Irish.
Thank you. Be Navy.
Bryson Daly with Rich DeMarco, and in his 2 years as the starting quarterback of the Army football team, Bryson Daly has 2,100 rushing yards, over 1,000 already this season, and 30 rushing touchdowns, 21 of them coming this year alone, which is tied for second most in the nation. He's also thrown for another 1,500 yards and 14 touchdowns, 7 touchdown passes this season. And Daly is being talked about as a fringe Heisman Trophy candidate. But a big game here today, and dare I say a win, and his Heisman Trophy stock will certainly rise. I'm Joe Beckerly. When we come back, Rich, Dean, and Donnie will take you up to kickoff. I'll also be back for the halftime and the postgame show. It's number 19 Army taking on the 6th-ranked Fighting Irish of Notre Dame with the Black Knights' perfect record on the line at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. How will it play out? We'll find out next. Enjoy the first half, everyone. You're listening to Black Knights College Football on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
Lockheed Martin's vision of 21st century security means preparing to make split-second decisions with certainty. Because whether your mission is over land, on the sea, through the air, in outer space, or cyberspace, our mission is to help you detect the threats, connect the tech, and protect what matters most in every domain of operation. Lockheed Martin, ensuring those we serve always stay ahead of ready.
Hey, Black Knight fans, the 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Army football games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the Army Black Knights. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Some days you hit snooze.
To those dedicated to defending our country, we recognize and appreciate your service. The GM Military Appreciation Program is the official automotive sponsor of Army West Point Athletics, and we're proud to honor all active U.S. military members, veterans, and retirees with a special offer on eligible new Chevrolet vehicles. It's our way of showing we have your back. Visit GMMilitaryAppreciation.com to learn more.
If you're an honorably discharged veteran,
You may be eligible to shop your exchange, where shopping is always tax-free with military-exclusive pricing. The exchange also welcomes qualifying DoD members, Coast Guard civilians, CAC or Common Access card holders, and many more, strengthening the benefit for all. Find out more about the exchange shopping benefit at shopmyexchange.com/vets. Visit shopmyexchange.com/vets today.
Life is full of adventures.
Do you take this man to be your husband?
I do. Welcome home.
We did it. He has your eyes.
He's perfect.
Make the most of them all with PenFed checking and savings accounts. Learn more at PenFed.org. Federally insured by NCAA. To receive any advertised product, you must become a member of PenFed Credit Union.
PenFed's got great rates for everyone.
It's one of the great rivalries in all of college football. Army and Notre Dame. A matchup known not just for the historic programs, but also the venues it's been contested. And there's no setting better than Yankee Stadium. It's an undefeated Army team, ranked number 17, across the field from number 6, Notre Dame. And for Black Knights head coach Jeff Monken, there's nothing like it.
Notre Dame is college football. Their history in this game is as far back as the game itself. So it's just a great opportunity. I'm excited for our players. I know that they are too, but it's a football game that we've got to prepare for and try to win. It is exciting, but it's an opportunity for us to play a game, try to play it well, and try to beat one of the best teams in college football.
It's 9-0 Army and 9-1 Notre Dame from Yankee Stadium, and it's coming up next.
On the Army Sports Network.
Daly straight back to throw, looking, heaves it toward the end zone. Touchdown, Army! Coming back for it, Noah Short on the left side of the end zone. Army back on the board.
From Learfield.
Takes the snap, cuts back, heads to the goal line. Touchdown, Army! Once again on a fourth down. Takes it in from 4 yards out. A huge touchdown for the Black Knights.
Army Black Knights football is on the air. Brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. And by the GM Military Appreciation Program. Save on Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac vehicles today. Now with a call of the game. Here's the voice of the Black Knights, Rich DeMarco.
The Notre Dame Fighting Irish Marching Band with our national anthem back here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Throughout the Hudson Valley, across the nation, and around the world, the Army Black Knights are on the air tonight. The eyes and ears of the nation are zeroed in here on the Ball Yard in the Bronx for number 19 Army and number 6 Notre Dame. This game, not only about the teams, but also the setting. Yankee Stadium, the old stadium, the site of so many Army and Notre Dame's matchup, and that fact is not lost on Army running back Kanye Udo.
Man, it's a huge environment to be able to play in that stadium. Not a baseball guy personally, but it's a huge stadium. It's a huge environment. It's just great to go out there. And we're just going to go out there and execute and play our game.
Notre Dame, the opponent, linebacker Caleb Fortner, who played in Army's matchup last year at LSU, says there's confidence.
You know, a different feel about this game against this opponent, unlike last year against LSU. You know, the atmosphere is going to be very similar. You know, it's a big-time opponent, and I think everybody's ready to get out there and get at them.
The Army defense will be tested by a Notre Dame offense led by quarterback Riley Leonard and running back Jeremiah Love. Quarterback Donovan Platt, who had a big end zone interception 2 weeks ago against North Texas, has his thoughts on Army's defense being called bend but not break.
It holds true. It does, because, you know, there is times, I mean, obviously we're the number one red zone defense for a reason. It's just a matter of knowing that when things are not going our way, we have to stick in there and keep doing what we're doing, and knowing that If we, trust the plan and trust our preparation, that we'll come out on top.
And the Army defense will be under the gun to come out on top tonight against this Notre Dame offense. It's a tough matchup. Time now, though, to look at the Fighting Irish and the scouting report. Let's go to Dean Darling.
Thanks, Rich. And Notre Dame's head coach Marcus Freeman, now in his third year, realizes how special this game is tonight here at Yankee Stadium.
It's an honor. I remember when Jack Swarbrick told me this was going to be our Shamrock Series game for this year. The first thought was Navy and Army in the same year. Come on, Jack. Then he told me why. Jack was such an innovative mind. He never wanted to have a Shamrock Series game just to have it, but he said, what better Shamrock Series opportunity to have a game in New York City versus Army 100 years after the Four Horsemen were named. And it's an amazing opportunity to play a great program that has a lot of history. It's a top 25 program. It's going to be a great challenge on Saturday night.
Notre Dame's on a roll. They've won 8 in a row. And when they have the ball, they look to quarterback Riley Leonard. He leads them with both his feet and his arm. Number 2 on the team in rushing. He's averaging 64 yards a game. He's also hit on 65% of his throws. He's averaging 179 yards in the air. At the running back, Notre Dame strong with leading rusher Jeremiah Love. He leads the way, 720 yards rushing. He has scored a touchdown in 10 straight games. He'll be backed up by Jardarian Price, who is the team's number 3 rusher. The receiving corps, they got a lot of go-to guys, including Clemson transfer Bo Collins. He leads the Irish with 30 catches, as well as Jaden Thomas, Jaden Greathouse, Jaden Harrison, and Jordan Faison, plus a couple real good tight ends in Mitchell Evans and Cooper Flanagan. Defensively, Notre Dame's a bear. They're ranked number 10, number 1 in several categories, and they're ranked in 6 different categories in the top 10. That includes points allowed, 11.4. Up front, graduate student Riley Mills, one of the team captains, and he leads Notre Dame in sacks and tackles for losses. On the second level, there's linebacker Jack Kaiser, and tonight he plays in his 64th career game. That is a school record. On the back line, All-American safety Xavier Watts. He's got 11 career interceptions. For the kicking game, Australian punter James Rendell is averaging 41.9 a kick, a net average of a little over 39. For the placeman, Mitch Jeter is a graduate transfer from South Carolina, and he is a guy that has hit 6 of 9 this year. Coach's decision not to play him last week. We're told he'll probably kick, though, in this ball game here tonight. So it's the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, the Black Knights of Army, as Notre Dame looks for their 16th straight win against Army.
Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
920 WGHQ Kingston, 1260 WBNR Beacon, and 1420 WLNA Peekskill. This is the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
Rich DeMarco, Dean Darling, Joe Beckerly, and Tony Marino. Here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, it's number 19 Army and number 6 Notre Dame. Both teams in the top 20 in the college football playoff rankings. This game tonight, major college football playoff implications. Army's 9-0, looking to go 10-0 for the first time ever. And Dean Darling, Joe Beckerly, both of you were on the Army football radio crew, and I'm going to take you back almost 30 years and 2 games back-to-back years. 1995, when Army came so close to upsetting Notre Dame at Giant Stadium, and then 1996, the last time Army was 9-0, in a somewhat similar spot, 9-0, went on the road up to Syracuse to take on Donovan McNabb before suffering their first setback of the year. Let's start with that 95 game, and Dean, with you and Ron Lashinsky, so close.
Ron Thomas that day could not be stopped. They kept running that handback play, and they just couldn't stop it, and Army went right to the final seconds, and Army, there's no overtime at that time, so Army said, we're going to go for the win. They're down, obviously, by 1. They got a chance to win it with a 2-point conversion. Ronnie Makeda throws a dart right at the goal line to Ron Lashinsky, a massive tight end for Army. He catches it, and his momentum, you would think, would push him across the goal line, but Ivory Covington came out of nowhere, about 5'9", 165 pounds, and he drilled Ron Lashinsky from not getting into the end zone. They called it the $7 million hit because that put Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl.
And that was the Defensive Player of the Year in college football that year. And in addition to that, don't forget the play before where Army scored the touchdown. Ronnie Makeda threw a pass to Leon Gant, and Gant, instead of going out of bounds with time running out, made a couple cut moves and got into the end zone, which was an incredible play. His first touchdown of the season for Army that year. And as you described, an incredible emotional loss on the goal line in the going for two and the win rather than the tie. And I remember, you probably remember this too, leaving the stadium that day and just looking at the face of Bob Sutton. He just had a blank stare, and you just felt so awful for what his team went through.
And that 95 season could have been one of the best in Army history because they went 5-5-1 that season, and they hung with some big-time teams, including that Notre Dame game.
Well, folks on the 95 team, 96 team, talking about Abe Young, who we got to know again a few years ago, who was on that 95 team, they'll tell you 95 was better than 96. Tony Bianchi played on both of those teams as a defensive lineman. Now we'll fast forward to a year, that 1996 season. And a lot of folks for tonight's game are immediately jumping back to 1958 or to the 1940s. And, of course, Notre Dame the opponent. But Army was in a 9-0 position, nationally ranked, going on the road to take on a nationally ranked team. Take me back to that game in November of 96 up at the Carrier Dome against Syracuse.
I have to say, as a broadcast crew, we were feeling our oats. I have to say that. We believed.
A lot of folks were picking Army in that game.
Yeah, and we believed that Army could win that game. And all of a sudden, Donovan McNabb came out and he just ran the ball down our throat, and he scored the touchdown pretty early in the ball game. And he saluted the crowd. He got an unsportsmanlike conduct foul, but it was all Syracuse that night, and Army couldn't handle it. Syracuse was just too much in the dome that night.
He later apologized for that, which was a cool thing to do. But don't forget, Army was 9-0 going into that game. They had an 11-game winning streak going in, dating back to the year before. It was the longest winning streak in the country at that time, and they scored. I remember they scored a touchdown with about 3 minutes to go in the second quarter to cut it to 7, but they left a little bit too much time on the clock, and Syracuse was able to cut down and get a score before halftime, and that really kind of cemented the momentum in that game. But you mentioned 1958, right? And in 1998, Army played in Notre Dame at Notre Dame Stadium, and this is a story I like to tell.
Love this story.
So, Dean, you were with me. Obviously, we go in the day before the game. We're at Notre Dame Stadium. The team does a walkthrough, and when they were done, I walked the field, end zone to end zone, right down the middle. And as I'm walking towards the opposite side of the field, Colonel Al Vanderbush, the athletic director at the time, was standing there. He had this far-off look in his eyes. He's looking at the stadium. He's looking at the ground. And I said, Colonel, did you ever get a chance to play on this field? And he said, the final play of the last time Army beat Notre Dame happened on this spot where we're standing. I made the tackle that finished that game.
Wow.
And I got chills. I just got chills now talking about it. I got chills then when it happened, and it's just one of my favorite stories.
And Notre Dame ended up winning it in the final couple seconds on a career-long field goal by the Irish kicker and beat Army 20-17.
What an atmosphere. Where do you rank this game tonight? You both have seen a lot of Army football. I think I've seen a lot. Y'all have seen a lot more than me. Does it take you back to 96? Does it take you back to 95? It's a new era in college football with the college football playoff. Of course, if Army pulls off this upset tonight, they've just got to win games, right? Namely UTSA and then Tulane to be in position. What's going through both of your minds?
Well, I'll say this. Every time Army played Notre Dame, it was a big game because you wanted to try to upset one of the blue blood programs, and it was just about trying to get a win. But this game here today is different. This game has national implications. This game is being watched by every college football person in the country because one team has a chance to have a better shot at making the college football playoff if they win this game here today. Now, because it went to 12 teams this year, that makes it a little different. And maybe if this game were played last year, it might not have had the same implications, but it does this year. And this, we've talked about it a couple times in the pregame show and the tailgate show. This is the biggest game with the most implications in probably 3/4 of a century.
There was no college football playoff back then, right? And I remember the game in 2010, and it was magical because it was the first game played at the new Yankee Stadium. But this is the real thing here tonight.
And it's got to do with where the Army football program is right now in 2024. We've talked about the atmosphere from up here in the booth where we are actually behind home plate in the end zone as you're watching the game to your left. A great atmosphere on the field. With that, we're going to go down to Tony Marino to get a feel of what's going on there on that Yankee Stadium turf.
Well, right now, guys, I guess I could say the audio levels picked up a bit because Notre Dame has at least a couple of those gold dome helmets have emerged near that Yankee dugout area. They're being ready to run onto the field. Their hype video, if you will, that precedes them taking the field is on the board right now. So certainly everybody stepped up. You can see the Notre Dame faithful on their feet awaiting the arrival there. Guys, I'm right in the middle of the Army sideline. I'm at the 50. Some of the coaches like Mike Vitti, Sean Saturnio, they made their way out here. These are game faces, guys. They are not here to participate in a big game on national television. By the looks of this and by the looks in warm-ups, they're here for a victory. They're here to go 1-0 this week, and that's the look. The look on their face is the same look, like I said, in week 1 in a pregame.
Notre Dame has taken the field through the end zone, to which we are behind. The Notre Dame marching band lined up in N and D, flanking the team as it runs out. Army is ready to run out here in a couple of moments. The Black Knights wearing the traditional road uniform, gold helmets, white jerseys, and gold pants. And the Army coaching staff wearing the West Point pullover, which Jeff Monken wore for the Air Force game, mimicking that worn by Vince Lombardi back in the late 40s and early 50s as an Army assistant coach. The excitement palpable on this field as we are moments away from Army and Notre Dame. The captains getting set to line up on either sideline. The Fighting Irish in their Shamrock Series uniforms, a steel blue jersey and pants with the bright gold helmets. The numbers are dark, and they flash a little bit with the light. That'll be a little bit of a challenge here tonight, Dean Darling.
I hope your spotter's a good one, Rich.
We got to get him off a train. We pulled him off a train about half an hour ago. Jack Darling is our spotter here tonight. I'm sure he's going to do a great job.
Yeah, they have those bright gold shiny helmets, and then those numbers, I guess you would call them like a Gothic number, and they've got a certain slant to them, and they're very shiny, but a little bit hard to pick up, that's for sure.
Every number looks like 0 from up here. So I think I'm just going to say Deion Colsey and Xavier Watts.
Yeah.
That's what I think the plan will be tonight. Let's go down to the field. The captain's lining up for the coin toss, and we send it down to the best sideline reporter in the business, Tony Marino.
Thanks very much, Rich. And as the Army captains walk out, of course, Max DiDomenico, Bryson Daly, Cody Winokur, and Kyle Lewis. As previously mentioned, he is, while in his jersey, no pads, he's in sweats. He will not play this evening, but he's out there with the captains. The captains for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Jack Kaiser, Riley Leonard, Riley Mills. Also got Ben Morrison and Xavier Watts out there. And I'll turn it over to Mike Roach, our referee
General
for
Fenton,
tonight's game.
General George, we thank you for your distinguished service and all you do for our country. I'm Michael Roach. This is Mr. Powell, be 2-year officials tonight. Gentlemen, let's shake hands and greet them up. I'm going to be your toss to call. The 2024 Series Shamrock logo will be the heads, and then the Yankee Stadium logo and the inscription on the back will be the tails. I'm going to toss it in the air, let it land on the ground, but I am going to ask you a call now. Heads or tails? Heads. Heads is the call. And it is the tails. Notre Dame has won the toss and elected to defer that option to the second half. Army will get in the game by receiving in the southernmost end zone. Gentlemen, shaking hands. Have a great night of football.
So there you go. Notre Dame wins the toss. They defer to the second half. Army will start with the ball. Let's talk about weather. 45 degrees, some light winds. It's turned down from earlier today. Talking about 8-mile-an-hour winds out of the northwest. Up above in the sky, barely a cloud up there, but it is partly cloudy. 45 degrees. Guys, for me, hasn't been much bigger than this. For the call of the game, Rich DeMarco and Dean Darling.
This one's going to be a lot of fun here at Yankee Stadium for Army and Notre Dame. the injury report and the game keys, Dean Darling.
So Tony talked about it. Defensive end Kyle Lewis is out for this game with a lower body injury. For Notre Dame, they are beat up on defense. They lost their starting cornerback and a team captain, Benjamin Morrison, a few games back. Boubacar Traore is out with a knee. Jordan Botelho is out with a knee for the entire season. And just word before the game, nose tackle Howard Cross is out with an ankle. He's an All-American. That is key for Notre Dame. When you look at the game keys, Army needs a clean game offensively and got to limit their penalties and no turnovers. They got to convert on short third and fourth downs. Defensively, they must contain Riley Leonard in the pocket. Can't let him scramble, get outside. For Notre Dame, they got to wear down Army with their relentless run game. Defensively, they got to be strong on first down plays, force Army into second and third and long situations, and they got to win the field battle.
Mitch Jeter, 18 touchbacks in 28 kickoffs this season, none out of bounds. Will kick off left to right. And back deep for Army, Miles Stewart and Lloyd Benson. Jeter advancing on the football. We are underway. Number 19 Army, number 6 Notre Dame. Fielded by Benson at the 12-yard line, runs left, cuts back across the 20-yard line near the 25, and that's where Army will begin. First down and 10. Tackle on the play made by Logan Thomas. Army offensively. Bryson Daly leading the nation in quarterback rushing touchdowns with 21. The offensive line, Finucane, Katsianis, Small, Generelli, Lucas Scott. They've been among the best in the entire nation. Black Knights will come out with Kanye Udo, the deep back, Hayden Reed, Noah Short, the slots, David Cross in the tight end, and Liam Fortner, one wide receiver, set out to the left side. Daly waiting under center here on first down and 10 for Army from the Black Knights' 26-yard line. Daly keeps it, runs left, looking at a cutback, stood up and driven down. Short gain out near the 28-yard line, tackled on the play by Jaden Osbury, and he's a good one for this linebacking core for Notre Dame with Drake Bowen, Jack Kaiser playing in his 65th game. That's a Notre Dame record. Joshua Burnham along the defensive line, Riley Mills, Donovan Heinisch, R.J. Oben, Leonard Moore, Christian Gray are the corners, Adon Schuler and Xavier Watts are the safeties. They're two great ones. Second down, we'll call it 8 for Army from its own 28. Out of the shotgun, diamond formation, play fake, and now Daly keeps it, runs left, again stood up at right around the 30-yard line, and then taken down. The forward progress takes him out to around the 31, and brought down by the linebacker, Jack Kaiser. So it will be third down and 5 for Army from its own 31-yard line.
Kaiser, I mentioned earlier in the scouting report, 64th career game. He's an outstanding individual. He's a good student, and he has really helped build this program over the recent times.
Third down and 5 for Army from its own 31. Minute 20 gone by here in the opening quarter at Yankee Stadium. Daly out of the shotgun. Udo to his right, one receiver out to the right side. Daly clapping his hands, calling for the football. Fakes the pitch, now runs it left, slips through, dives forward, and is going to be just short of the first down, brought down at around the 34-yard line. Kaiser again making the tackle. It'll be fourth down and short, and the first decision of this ball game for Army, and it looks like the punt unit is going to be sent on.
Yeah, they've got Jeff Monken up here on the video monitor, and he was talking to his special teams, and he said, hey, we need a really good punt here and good coverage because Notre Dame is very good in special team efforts.
Max Hurlman back deep, 15 punt returns this season, averaging just over 5 yards a return. James Wagenseller waits back at his own 20-yard line. Good snap, gets the kick away. A spiraling kick. Hurlman fields it at the 18-yard line near numbers. Runs left 20, 25-yard line out near the 30, and then run down from behind. Ball came out, recovered by Notre Dame at the 36-yard line. Tackled on the play by Adam Cash, and the fumble will be returned to where the ball was fumbled at right around the 32-yard line, and that's where Notre Dame will begin first down and 10. It was Luke Talich, the safety, who came up with the recovery.
When you look at Hurlman, he's a graduate transfer from Colgate. He had a fumble last week against Virginia. A little bit shaky in the special return.
Riley Leonard working out of the gun. Jeremiah Love to his left. Leonard calling for the football. 1st and 10 for Notre Dame from its own 32. Tight end in motion, that's Mitchell Evans. Here's the handoff on 1st down to Love. Runs left, 40-yard line out near the 45, and then tripped up. Got a good gain at the 45-yard line. So that's a gain of 13 on 1st down. Casey Larkin makes the tackle. Anthony Knapp, Billy Schrout, Pat Coogan, Rocco Spindler, and Emil Wagner. This big offensive line, the receivers, we'll see a lot of Jaden Harrison, Bo Collins, and Chris Mitchell. 1st and 10 for Notre Dame from its own 45. Leonard back to throw for the first time. Fires left side, and it's caught at midfield and taken down immediately off that pass was Bo Collins, his team-leading 31st catch of the season. Army defensively. DiDomenico made that tackle. He's back deep with Casey Larkin. Jaden Mays, Donovan Platt are the corners. Chance Keith, Andon Thomas, Caleb Fortner, Elo Medozi are the linebackers. Tuioti, Sophia, and Harris Miller the start on the defensive line. 2nd and 5 for Notre Dame at midfield. Play fake, throw left side, and it is caught by Greathouse, who's able to get inside the Army 40-yard line, far sideline, and is pushed down right near the 37. That's a gain of 13, good enough for a 1st down. Max DiDomenico made the tackle.
Yeah, Greathouse, he got a little dinged up last week in the game against Virginia with a shoulder, but he did come back into that game. They've got so many different wide receivers. That was interesting, Rich. He kind of slingshot that ball from the side.
1st and 10 for Notre Dame from the Army 37. 11-10 left in this opening quarter. We're scoreless. Black Knights and the Fighting Irish. Leonard out of the gun from the left hash. Inside handoff, and it's Love. Stutter step to the 30-yard line and near a 1st down as he is tackled at the Army 28 by Andon Thomas. They'll give him 9 yards on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 1 from the Army 28.
Well, right now it's pretty obvious in the trenches. This offensive line is getting a push. They're knocking back Army's defensive line. It's allowing those running backs to jump into gaps and get to the second level so quickly.
Love to the right of Leonard, who works out of the gun here on 2nd down and 1 from the Army 28. A receiver to either side. Tight end goes in motion right to left. Leonard awaiting the football, straight back to throw. Looking left, looking right, hurls it toward the end zone. Pass caught at the 5, and then taking it in for the touchdown for Notre Dame. The tight end, Eli Raridan. So it's Faison with the touchdown. Jordan Faison with the score. The sophomore wide receiver from Fort Lauderdale takes it in, a 28-yard scoring toss, and Notre Dame is on the board.
Good protection, and Leonard was just looking for a corner route. Hits the receiver right in the numbers, and just a really good job. They got turned around. Jordan Mays got turned around out on the corner, and he got into the end zone.
So Notre Dame strikes first here with 10:24 left in the opening quarter. Snap ball is down. Kick is up on the extra point, and it's good. So Army 3 and out. Notre Dame goes straight down the field and takes it in for 7 on the scoring toss from Riley Leonard to Jordan Faison, his first touchdown of this 2024 season. We'll have more coming up in just a moment right here from Yankee Stadium. Notre Dame 7, Army nothing. You're listening to Black Knights College Football right here on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
The exchange is all in for all who served. Veterans, it's your hard-earned benefit to shop your BXPX for military-exclusive pricing that's always tax-free. Veterans with service-connected disabilities can shop the exchange in-store. Honorably discharged veterans can shop tax-free online at shopmyexchange.com. Just visit shopmyexchange.com/vets for more information. That's shopmyexchange.com/vets.
What exactly does MCOR do? For healthcare facilities, we help keep patients and staff safe and comfortable. For data centers, we help the digital economy flow more reliably. For office buildings, we help make work environments secure, efficient, and compliant. In other words, for businesses and industries of every type, at MCOR, we build, power, service, and protect.
You're listening to the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
Army fans, ankle pain keeping you on the sidelines? Get back in the game. Stryker's Ankle Replacement Solutions can help restore your range of motion. Learn more at stryker.com/West Point. And Army football brought to you by FW Web, where the pros go for plumbing, heating, HVAC, refrigeration, pipe, valves, fittings, and more. Visit fwweb.com for a location near you. Notre Dame strikes quickly after the Army 3 and out. Fighting Irish lead it 7-0 over Army with 10 minutes and 24 seconds left in this opening quarter in the Bronx.
And this is your MCOR scoring drive summary. Rich said it. Army goes 3 and out. Leonard gets hot early, 3 for 3, throwing the ball. And a couple key runs by Jeremiah Love, twice for 22 yards. 5 plays, 68 yards in total. It just took him 2:11 to get down the field and score. Leonard, a 28-yard touchdown pass to Jordan Faison. For Leonard, that's his 13th of the year. Faison, that's his first catch of the year for a score. And on the extra point, Notre Dame takes the initial lead. And it's only the second time this year that Army has trailed the ball game. Notre Dame 7 and Army nothing. Again, 10:24 left opening quarter.
Back deep for Army. Stewart and Benson awaiting the kickoff. From now, it's going to be Eric Goins. He's a 30-year-old Army veteran. He's handled kickoffs at times during this season, so he will actually kick off. And it's straight down the middle, and it's fielded by Benson on a fair catch, makes it at the 7-yard line. Ball will come out to the 25. And now this Army defense hasn't been often this year, only the second time. Dean, you mentioned it, in the second straight game, Black Knights have fallen behind. It was North Texas taking lead on the opening drive 2 weeks ago. It was short-lived, that 3-0 advantage for the Mean Green. And now Army, after already having a possession, Notre Dame marching down the field and scoring. Black Knights take the field trailing 7-0.
And on those first 3 plays, it was all Bryson Daly. He accumulated 8 yards, but obviously they're going to have to get Udo involved into this offense as well as Noah Short.
And Notre Dame without nose tackle Howard Cross, who's having a tremendous season. Going to miss tonight's game with an injury. Daly under center with Udo behind him. Tyrell Robinson, a slot back to his left. Daly waiting, and a fake handoff pitch. Robinson, right side, looking to turn the corner, unable to do so, and then driven back. Might have lost a yard. Back near the 24-yard line. And tackled on the play by Christian Gray, the corner.
They tried to go with the fake up the middle, the Udo, and then the quick pitch out here on the corner, but there was no blocking for Robinson whatsoever.
So Army so far has found it tough moving the football here. They'll mark that as no gain. It'll be second down and 10 for Army from its own 25 from the right hash. Daly sending a man in motion. Play fake, looks like a busted play. Daly stepping up, tripped up, knee might have touched the ground, then driven down to the turf at around the 23-yard line. So we'll see where the officials mark it. Daly lost his footing when he dropped back on this grass, which was just laid in the infield about a few weeks ago. Donovan Heinisch is going to get credit with the tackle for loss back to the 23, and suddenly it's 3rd and 12.
Yeah, he was backpedaling and he was going to go forward, and the back leg slipped out on him. And that's the reason he put the ball down on the floor.
So 3rd and 12 for Army from the Black Knights 23. 2 slots on the play. Deep back is Udo. Daly hands to Udo straight ahead on 3rd and long across the 25 and muscling his way out near the 26-yard line. So Udo ends up picking up 3. It'll be 4th and 9. And for the second straight possession, it's going to be 3 plays and a punt for the Black Knights.
Again, Udo hadn't touched the ball until that point. They tried to run that one up the middle, and just nothing there. This defensive line is doing a good job. And you mentioned about Howard Cross being out. He's their leader at that nose tackle position. This is the second game he's missed.
So Wagenseller will kick it away. Hurlman waits back at his own 32. Snap good to Wagenseller, and it's blocked. The kick straight in the air and then deflected loose on the floor inside the 20-yard line, and it's picked up on the far sideline by Hurd inside the 10-yard line and pushed out of bounds at the Army 9. Rod Hurd returned the block punt. It was Bryce Young who got a hand in it to knock it down, and just like that, Notre Dame has flipped possession, taking over inside the Army 10 for Bryce Young, his 3rd blocked kick of the season. He's blocked 2 field goals against Miami, Ohio, and Georgia Tech. Now has a punt to go along with it.
Yeah, and again, the drop was there, but then off the right hand was Young coming in on that right side, and he just got his fingertips on it. And Army was fortunate enough that they didn't allow Notre Dame to score right there. They had to push him to the boundary.
Young, a 6'7" freshman from Charlotte. So as Jeff Monken likes to say, a blocked kick, just like a turnover, as Notre Dame takes over. First and goal at the Army 7-yard line is where the ball is spotted. Jeremiah Love is the back to the left of Riley Leonard, who works out of the shotgun here on first and goal. He's going to keep it straight ahead. Run down from behind by Chance Keith. Able to take him ahead a couple of yards down to the 5-yard line. It'll be second down and goal from right around that Army 5. A nice push up the middle, this offensive line of Notre Dame.
Yeah, you talk about Bryce Young, Rich. His dad, Brian, played football at Notre Dame. Then he went on and had a great career with the 49ers for 14 individual seasons. So a lot of sons have come here and played after their dads played.
Brian Young, one of the great ones. Pro Football Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Second and goal for Notre Dame from the Army 5-yard line. One back to the right of Leonard. Out of the shotgun, man in motion right to left. Leonard takes the snap, is going to run with it. Stutter step at the 5, and then is converged upon by the Army defensive line and driven back. No gain on the play. DiDomenico led the charge. Army saying the ball came out, and the Black Knights recovered it. Dre Miller was in on the play as well. Miller's going to have to step up with Kyle Lewis out. It'll be third down and goal, and actually Notre Dame lost a yard back at the 6.
Keep in mind, Army's #1 in the nation in red zone defense, and they're going to have to really push it here. Only the opponents have scored just 9 of 20 times for touchdowns.
So big play here for the Army defense. Black Knights trailing it 7-0 as the clock down to 6:45 left in this opening quarter here at Yankee Stadium. Love the one back to the right of Leonard here on third and goal. Tight end goes in motion left to right. Riley Leonard back to throw. Sets up the screen to Love at the 5-yard line. Heads to the corner. Leaps over Donovan Platt and heads into the end zone for the touchdown. Jeremiah Love, his 19th reception this season. Second touchdown set up off the block punt by Brian Young, and Notre Dame back on the scoreboard with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in this opening quarter.
The only guy that had a shot at him was DiDomenico, and he kind of got sideswiped and pushed to the side and just couldn't get to Love as Love caught it out on the left flank, and good block there by the Notre Dame player and allowed Love to get it in the end zone.
And on to attempt the extra point is Jeter. Snap, ball is down, the kick is up, and the kick is through. So Jeter, 2 for 2 on extra points. Notre Dame, 2 for 2 on touchdown drives. And the Fighting Irish take a 14-0 lead over Army. 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in the opening quarter here at Yankee Stadium. Let's go down to the field. Tony Marino, joined by a very special guest.
Thanks very much, Rich. I'm here with Army West Point Athletic Director Mike Buddy. And Mike, as the atmosphere really picked up here, certainly Notre Dame after the fast start, the game itself is going on, but just talk about what got us to this game and this game being played here at Yankee Stadium, and of course, Army West Point taking part.
Yeah, it's been a pretty awesome fall, right? I mean, think 1 year ago today, we were thinking about, hey, all right, we're joining this conference. What is it going to look like? The CFP is going to expand to 12 teams. What does that mean exactly? And then here we are, playing a 9-1 Notre Dame team and being 9-0. Ranked in the college football playoff, secured a spot in the AAC championship game. It's been an amazing 12 months and a lot of football left here tonight. Hopefully we can get something going.
When you can get the Army football team in the program in a game like this and so many other big games throughout the years, whether it was the Michigan, the Oklahoma, what does it mean to the program and what does it mean to Army West Point athletics when the program can be in games like this?
Well, it's what kids dream about, right? And this elevates all of our cadets, all of our cadet athletes. The entire Corps of Cadets has enjoyed this ride. You get on the biggest stage in college football a year or two after NIL came into effect, when a lot of people thought the days of being competitive for the military academies was probably waning. And here we are, and Navy's had a really solid year as well. So it's great for the morale. It's great for the 1.1 million men and women who serve our Army, and we hope to make them proud.
Well, I certainly would be remiss to not ask you about being back here. I know you've been back here for Old Timers Day. You pitched across the street for the Yankees. What's it like to be in this stadium and be the leader of the Army athletic program and be in this stadium kind of looping it back together, tying it together for you?
Yeah, it's pretty surreal, right? I mean, to grow up in Cleveland, Ohio as a young kid, and you end up getting to pitch for the New York Yankees, and then on top of that, you get to end up leading the United States Military Academy's athletic program, and then you're here at your old stomping grounds playing Notre Dame at Yankee Stadium and representing the Black Knights. It's a pretty special opportunity.
We always appreciate your time. Thanks so much for everything, Mike.
Yeah, thanks, Tony. Beat Navy.
Send it back upstairs, guys.
Army trails it 14-0. Always great to hear from Mike Buddy, who's done such a great job, from the American Athletic Conference to the Yankee Stadium Preservation Project to Army's success in sports outside of football. Tonight, a great celebration, also a huge football game, Dean Darling, and Army has to get some offense going.
Yeah, they're almost getting themselves into a situation. It's a must score, but obviously Notre Dame has figured out Army's triple option pretty early, and Army's tried to go different ways. They tried to go Bryson Daly 3 consecutive times on the opening possession. They tried to open up a little bit on the outside with Robinson. That didn't work, so they got to try to obviously get some kind of plan figured out here and get a good return.
And Goins will kick it off again to Benson and Stewart. Another kickoff that'll land inside the 5. Fair catch called for by Benson and made at the 3-yard line. Ball will come out to the 25, and that's where the Black Knights will begin first down and 10.
This reminds me a little bit of the way the game opened up back in 16 at the Alamo Dome when the opening kickoff was returned for 92 yards and a score, and Army just was reeling after that. Now we'll see. This is a different kind of Army team, though, here in 24. We'll see what they're made of, and just got to get that first down and then get the next first down, that type of situation.
And we knew moving the football was going to be a challenge for Army here tonight. Empty backfield, trips right, one receiver to the left. Here on first and 10 for Army from its own 25. Daly, a quick two-step drop, then quarterback draw across the 30-yard line, out near the 34, 35-yard line. That's a solid first down gain on the quarterback draw, and tackled by Xavier Watts, who we're expecting to say his name a lot tonight. They'll give him 8 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 2 from the 33.
I talked to Cody Worley yesterday. I said, is this a game where Daly runs it 35 times? He goes, not necessarily. We got to rely on other people in this ball game. But Daly, that time, leading the charge already. He's got 4 carries.
2nd and 2 for the Black Knights. Udo the deep back, a tight formation with Reed in motion, right to left, heavy now to the left side. Daly runs that way, left side, has the first down, and then muscling his way out near the 36, 37-yard line. So Army finally able to move the chains here inside of 6 minutes left in this opening half. Tackle made by R.J. Oben, another player with NFL bloodlines, the great Roman Oben, who played for the Giants for a couple of years, won a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay back in the day. And Army a 1st and 10 from its own 37.
And R.J.'s playing his 61st career game tonight for the Fighting Irish.
Transfer from Duke, where he played his first several years. Army now in a diamond formation. We saw this on the opening drive. 2 receivers to the left side, including Parker Pileski, one of the tight ends. And a handoff straight ahead. It's Udo out of this diamond. Bounces away, and then bounces it outside of the 38-yard line. Looking to turn the corner at the 40, able to slip through a tackler, and then run out of bounds near the 43-yard line. It was Jaden Osbury making the tackle. And a penalty flag, it appears, back in the backfield. And we'll wait for the call.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic first down.
And those are the things Army needs tonight, as Udo's face mask was taken down as he was running out of bounds. So that moves the ball into Notre Dame territory. Asbury just got his left thumb on the bottom of the face mask.
Number 4, the defense, number 4.
And he's a freshman from Baton Rouge, a really good one in that rover-type position. Safety / linebacker. Army now with an opportunity of 1st and 10 at the Notre Dame 42. With 4:40 left in this opening quarter, Army trailing 14-0. 2 receivers left. The deep back, Udo. The slot is Tyrell Robinson to the right side. Daly waiting. Fake handoff to Udo. Here's the pitch. Robinson near side. Daly got clobbered. Looking to turn the quarter. Notre Dame 40-yard line, and then spun out of bounds at the ND 39. So about a 3-4 yard pickup by Tyrell Robinson. And Army will have a 2nd down and 6 as he was run down on that far side. And good lateral pursuit by this Notre Dame defense team.
Yeah, and you were right. Daly took a high hit up around the chin area, but the referee back there, Michael Roach, didn't make a call. Robinson, by the way, playing in his 42nd career game tonight.
And what a career he has had here. It's 1st and 10, I should say 2nd and 6 for Army at the Notre Dame 38. On the left hash, moving right to left. Daly hands off. This is Udo off left tackle, pushing the pile down to the 35. So Army using clock, moving the football here on its 3rd drive of the game. And this will bring up a 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, 3rd down this year on defense for Notre Dame. They're stingy. 29%. The opponent has been successful. Number 6 in the nation.
Rendina in the game as the back to the right of Daly here on 3rd down and 2 slots. Otherwise, a tight formation. Noah Short in motion. Daly's going to run it off right tackle. Cuts back, runs into his own man. It's going to be short of the 1st down, though close enough where Army's going to go for it here. He ran into a wall, and it was Drake Bowen who made the tackle. Bowen, who came in 2nd on Notre Dame with 48 tackles, one of 4 two-sport athletes on this Fighting Irish roster.
Yeah, he played on the baseball team last spring. He was just used as a pinch runner. He got into 3 games, but they expect big things out of him in the future for the baseball team.
So it's 4th and 1. Army going to go for it here. 4th and 1 for the Black Knights from the Notre Dame 33. Black Knights trailing 14-0. Rendina in the backfield movement, right side of the defensive line for Notre Dame. And then it looked like Lucas Scott just took that lineman down.
He body surfed him. That's what he did, Rich.
Body surf and slam almost. We'll see. The call here is the officials huddling up at around the 40-yard line.
Offside. Defense number 1 causing the offense to react. The 5-yard penalty results in the 1st down.
So Army on 4th down gets the conversion on penalty. It was the right side of that line, and it was Oben, it appeared, who jumped across. Or check that, Sneed.
I was a little surprised, Rich, that Army went out of the shotgun on a short situation like that. Obviously, they wanted to, with Rendina in there, he's the lead blocker for Daly, but in any event, they got a 1st down. 2 big penalties on Notre Dame here on Army's drive.
The face mask and now the offside. 1st and 10 for the Black Knights from the Notre Dame 27-yard line. Coming down to 2 minutes left in this opening quarter. Army trailing 14-0. Daly looking to either side. Reynolds out to the right side. Deep back Udo, and now a whistle. Looks like he ran out of time on the play clock. Unless Army got a timeout call.
There is no foul for delay a game on the play. Army takes its 1st time out of the half.
Jeff Monken was on the sideline seeing the play clock running down, and Daly just took a little too much time, and Monken able to save the penalty here. So we'll take a timeout as well. 1:57 left opening quarter. Number 6 Notre Dame leading number 19 Army 14-0. You're listening to Black Knights College Football right here on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
You've seen the headlines, inflation, higher prices. Have you factored in higher prices in your retirement? Ooh, you hadn't thought of that, right? Have you looked at this? Do you need more information? I would suggest Ken Mahoney's book called 10 Things to Do Before You Retire. Each chapter builds on one another to put you and your loved ones in a better position. Now, the book sells at Amazon and Barnes & Noble, but just go to MahoneyGPS.com for more information. And Ken and Connor Mahoney, by the way, support Army football big time. Go to MahoneyGPS.com for more information about the book, 10 Things to Do Before You Retire. Or call them at 845-371-0101.
Step into Fishkill Flooring, your one-stop shop for all flooring needs. Fishkill Flooring is a local family-run business with carpet, luxury vinyl tile, and hardwood flooring available, with many styles of carpet and luxury vinyl tile in stock for quick installation. But that's not all. Fishkill Flooring can also handle carpet cleaning services and your property management needs. Visit Fishkill Flooring on Route 82 in Hopewell Junction today, behind Hopewell Easy Storage, or online at fishkillflooring.com. Don't delay. Transform your home today.
You're listening to the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
Tony Marino back with you from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. 1:57 to go first quarter. The Fighting Irish out to a 14-0 lead over the Black Knights. Army, though, with the ball, a 1st and 10 at the Irish 28. Of course, this is a baseball stadium primarily. There's some soccer games played here, but primarily a baseball stadium. Very few football games played here outside of the Pinstripe Bowl, in fact. Well, there's certain logistics that you have to think about that are part of an NFL, say, stadium or a college football stadium when it's football primarily. Here, the play clock is one which has caught me a little bit, and I'm sure it may have even caught Bryson Daly. Now, he knows where it is, but it's not like it is in certain places where it may be field level, maybe up to the left, not consistent. In his case, he has to look through the goalposts, and the play clock is just about, I would say probably 20 feet from our broadcast booth up. And Rich and Dean up there, it's probably just to your left. I'm guessing 20 feet. But for Daly to see it, he's got to look through the goalposts on there. And at the far end, it's out above the 408 sign in dead center field here at Yankee Stadium. Back up to Rich and Dean.
And Tony, that's a great point, because a lot of times when you play at a non-traditional stadium, that's one of the things you're aware of. And even being aware of it, they're a new stadium. There's different distractions. And coming out of the timeout, Army with its deepest penetration of the night. 1st and 10 for the Black Knights from the Notre Dame 28-yard line. Army trailing 14-0, a minute 57 left in this opening quarter. Daly under center, empty backfield. Trips right, one receiver left. Udo now in motion right to left. He'll line up as a slot to the right side. Here's a pivot by Daly, going to run left. Sheds a tackler, near side 25-yard line. Run down from behind, and then taken out of bounds by Xavier Watts. After a gain of about 6 on the play, down to about the 22. Lucas Scott got a good push, pulling out there to knock down. Got 2 defenders for 1 block.
Rich, Lewis Scott has been the best offensive lineman this year for Army. He's actually gotten some pro looks looking ahead, but that was that little reverse pivot. Navy had some success on that against Notre Dame. They got drilled in that game, but Daly's starting to get into the flow a little bit of this game.
2nd down and 4 for Army from the Notre Dame 22. Black Knights on the edge of the red zone here late in the first quarter. Handoff, Kanye Udo left side, finds an opening, now pushes his way near the first down marker at about the 18. Stood up, and leading the charge was Junior Tuialamaka, the defensive lineman. And it is enough, 4 yards to pick up the first down. Army, 1st and 10 in the red zone at the Notre Dame 17 with 45 seconds left in the quarter.
And red zone numbers this year, they've scored 35 of 38 times, and 30 times it's been touchdowns. This is a touchdown type of drive that they need.
1st and 10 for Army from the Notre Dame 17. 2 slots, and Udo the deep back. Fake pitch, Daly back to throw. Looking, is now going to run with it. Near side, gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard ahead on the near numbers as he was chased and then sandwiched. Tackled on the play by Junior Tuialamaka. Back-to-back tackles, a 1-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 9 from the Notre Dame 16.
So his initial receiver was Casey Reynolds, but he got knocked down at the 5-yard line. So Daly realized that he's going to eat the ball and try to run with it.
And that brings us to the end of quarter number 1. Started out all Notre Dame, but Army with its best drive of the night. We'll have a 2nd and 9 at the Notre Dame 16 when we begin the second quarter. 15 minutes of football in the books at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Number 6, Notre Dame 14. Number 19, Army, nothing. Second quarter coming up in just a moment. You're listening to Black Knights College Football right here on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Ankle pain and limited mobility keeping you on the sidelines? Army West Point Athletics has joined forces with Stryker, an expert in foot and ankle surgical solutions. As one of the world's leading medical technology companies, Stryker offers innovative foot and ankle products that help you get back in the game and on your feet so you can keep doing what you love.
Visit Stryker.com/West Point to learn more and find a specialized surgeon in your area so you can rediscover your freedom of movement.
You're listening to the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
Welcome back to Yankee Stadium. Army and Notre Dame. Black Knights trail the Irish 14-0, but they are on the Irish 6-yard line. Second quarter about to begin. Some final scores from earlier today. Number 25 Illinois beat Rutgers in Piscataway 38-31. It was number 23 Missouri 39, Mississippi State 20. South Carolina beat up Wofford 56-12. So did Clemson over the Citadel 51-14. Also final, Kansas beat number 16 Colorado 37-21. Here's an upset. Arizona State, number 21, beat number 14 BYU 28-23. SMU over Virginia 33-17. Number 11 Tennessee 56, UTEP nothing. Number 10 Georgia 59, Massachusetts 21. Florida over Ole Miss 24-17. Miami beat Wake Forest 42-14. Penn State got by Minnesota, the fourth-ranked team, Nittany Lions 26, Minnesota 25. And one of the three unbeatens coming into this game, Indiana, lost for the first time the game at Ohio State 38-15. That's the scoreboard report brought to you by The Exchange. Back to Rich, Dean, and Tony.
And Army now one of just two undefeated teams in the nation. Number 19 Army and number 1 Oregon. Army fans, your West Point PX is the place to go to score big with military exclusive pricing and tax-free savings. Stop by your West Point Exchange to find out more. As we begin the second quarter, 2nd and 9 for Army from the Notre Dame 16-yard line. You just have a feeling here, Dean, Army needs 7 on this march.
Well, they were going that first down pass. They wanted to try, obviously, get it to their main receiver, Casey Reynolds, but again, he got knocked down, and then that's when, well, Daly made something out of nothing. He picked up a yard on that scramble to set it up for a 2nd and 9 situation. But you know what? If Army could get into the end zone here, we got a brand new ball game.
Yeah, and Army just needs a defensive stop at that point. So Army trailing it 14-0. Notre Dame won the coin toss and deferred. We'll talk about that as this quarter moves on, but that could be important. 2nd and 9 for Army from the Notre Dame 16. Daly on a quarterback keeper to the 10-yard line, runs right and goes down just short of the first down marker. Asbury makes the tackle, and that's vintage Bryson Daly from what we've seen this season on the quarterback draw. A big 8-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Got a whole slant push from the offensive line, especially from the left side. They just completely pushed the D-line off to the right, and that allowed a crease for Daly to jump into, and like you said, his best prolific run of the game.
It'll be 3rd down and 1 for Army from the Notre Dame 8-yard line. It's about a half yard. No push play as Army goes from the shotgun. Daly out of the gun is going to run. It follows Udo, spins, and is taken down short of the first down. Asbury again came in to make the play. He's been all over the place. There's a penalty flag near the line of scrimmage as a helmet went flying during the play.
Personal foul, illegal use of hands to the face, defense, number 99. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down. Number 65 will remain in the game because the helmet came off as a result of the foul.
Riley Mills, the defensive lineman, the grad student, called for the penalty, and that's going to give Army a huge life as it goes from what would have been a 4th and short to now a 1st and goal at the Notre Dame 4-yard line. Black Knights knocking on the door here 1 minute into the second quarter. 1st and goal for Army from the Notre Dame 4-yard line. Udo is the deep back, heavy to the right side for Army. Daly waiting under center. Bryson takes the snap, runs right, cuts back toward the goal line, and he's in! Touchdown Army! The Black Knights are on the board here at Yankee Stadium. Bryson Daly from 4 yards out, touchdown number 22 on the 2024 season, and Army is right back in this football game.
So he got the ball, Rich, and then he looked off to his right side. When he was being tackled on the spin is what got him in. he actually got propelled into the end zone by the defender who was tackling him.
And what a play by Bryson Daly, keeping that momentum, almost Jacoby Buchanan-esque. 75 yards for Army in 8 minutes on 12 plays. Granati on to attempt the extra point. Snap, ball is down, the kick is up, and it's through. And just like that, Army's in the ball game. Needed a drive, needed to go length of the field, needed 7 points. Army did all three. Number 6, Notre Dame 14. Number 19, Army 7. We'll have more from Yankee Stadium coming up in just a moment right here on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
Mercedes-Benz of Orange County is a proud supporter of the U.S. military and Army football. Army cadets are known to say, HUA. Many say it stands for heard, understood, acknowledged. We share the same values at our dealership. That's why we're the #1 choice of consumers year after year with thousands of 5-star consumer ratings. To test drive the legendary Mercedes-Benz GLE 350 SUV, schedule at benzelbusch.com/MBOC.
Hi, this is Jeff Feldman of Feldman, Kleidman, Collins & Sape. Over the years, I've learned that hard work, preparation, and surrounding yourself with great talent is the foundation of success. FKCS has been named a best law firm by Best Lawyers every year since 2010. This honor is a reflection of the entire FKCS family doing the right thing to make our clients successful. If you've been injured in an accident, call 845-897-5199 for a free consultation or visit us at fkcs.law.
You're listening to the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
Build, power, service, protect. Those are the things that describe EMCOR, a nationwide leader in all things infrastructure, from data centers to hospitals, airports to manufacturing plants. EMCOR, build, power, service, protect. And join Eisenhower Hall Theater, the Hudson Valley's premier performing arts center, celebrating its 50th season. Eisenhower Hall Theater, where Broadway plays, musicals, and concerts are standard fare. For updated season info and ticket sales, visit ikehall.com. That's ikehall.com. And the cadets who made their way down from West Point to this game, and the Army fans who are outnumbered by the Fighting Irish supporters. That was some drive for the Black Knights, some way to get in the end zone, and Army right back in the ball game.
And Notre Dame helped that drive. They had 3 key penalties, 2 of them on 4th down. It was a face mask, they had an offside call, and then they had a hands to the face that put Army into the red zone. As we bring you the EMCOR scoring drive summary, 12 plays, 75 yards, 7:37 in time of possession, 4-yard touchdown run. Bryson Daly, number 22. The extra point is good. Notre Dame has the lead cut in half. Notre Dame 14 and Army 7. EMCOR, proud partner of Army West Point Athletics. My point about Notre Dame, they're undisciplined at times. 9 penalties for 70 yards against Virginia last week. They allowed Virginia to kind of hang around in that game. They're ranked 72nd in the nation. They average 6 penalties a game, and already that really helped Army's drive.
And credit Cody Worley. Army having obvious problems moving the football on their first 2 drives, and we knew that was going to be a big question tonight. How is Army going to move this football? They were able to do it on that drive. Now it's up to Nate Woody, leading the Army defense, to come up with a stop. Perlman, the main man, back deep for Notre Dame. It'll be Granati kicking it away, and Trey gets a boot into it, sails over the head of the return men and through the end zone for a touchback. And Notre Dame will begin 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. So Riley Leonard wasn't under a ton of pressure on the first 2 Notre Dame drives. Granted, the second one was truncated. So Army needs the pressure, Dean, and also there have been open receivers, very open downfield.
Yeah, and he's had protection too. He's allowed to stand back there and throw that touchdown pass to the pylon, to Faison, and you know what? He's a really good quarterback. Transferred in from Duke. He had ankle problems throughout his career, but he's here in his graduate year, and he's done a good job.
Jadarian Price is the running back to the right of Leonard, out of the shotgun on 1st down, and the handoff to Price. Straight ahead, gets through 1 tackler, then run down by Caleb Fortner. A gain of about 4 out to the 29-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 6. Second straight year, Notre Dame has taken an ACC grad transfer quarterback. It was Sam Hartman last year from Wake Forest.
Said he called Hartman before the season. Leonard did. And he said, "What do I expect?" And he said, "Just relax, let everything come to." They hit a real bump in the road against Northern Illinois, but since that time, they have rattled off the 8 straight wins.
2nd and 6 for Notre Dame from the Fighting Irish 29-yard line. A man in motion left to right, and 4 wide. Leonard back to throw, slings it far side, and it's caught across the 40-yard line on the far numbers. Jaden Greathouse picks up the first down, and Notre Dame in business after what'll go down as about a 13-yard gain.
Yeah, Greathouse, he gets open. They've got large windows that Leonard's looking through to throw the ball, and he's another guy, a sophomore. He's out of Austin. He's up for the Earl Campbell, Tyler Rose preseason watch list.
1st and 10 for Notre Dame from the Irish 43. Play fake, pass over the middle. That's caught by Harrison. Stutter step inside Army territory, inside the 45, and down at the 43. So open men downfield. Army unable to get the pressure. Fortner with the tackle. It'll be 1st and 10 for Notre Dame at the Army 43.
Leonard did a good job looking off the corner as he faked like he was going to throw it to the left, and then he found in the seam his receiver, and he's on the money so far in the ballgame. He's 6 for 6 and 66 yards.
And really has not been pressured. 1st and 10 for Notre Dame from the Army 43. 2 receivers right and 1 left. Leonard out of the gun, handoff straight ahead, and this is a big hole. 35-yard line, down to the 30, and then flipped over is Jadarian Price by Max DiDomenico, and he finally goes down at the Army 29-yard line. So Price showing his moves. He's a sophomore from Denison, Texas, had 44 yards 1 week ago against Virginia.
Yeah, Army's getting dominated at the tackle positions right now, and that's allowing these big gapping holes. What a hit, though, by DiDomenico.
Open running lanes and open receivers. 1st and 10 for Notre Dame at the Army 29. Leonard out of the gun. Play fake, looking, has time. Now he's going to run with it. 25-yard line, runs left to the 20, slides down in first down territory at the Army 18-yard line. So Leonard knew where he needed to go when the pocket finally collapsed, was able to pick up the first down, and Notre Dame again in the Army red zone. 1st and 10 from the Black Knights, 17, 11 minutes left, second quarter.
So Leonard is so smart. He realizes that, people are covered down there. What I was told by Nate Woody was he's 6'4", he's got big strides. He looks a lot quicker than when he's out there from this distance.
2 receivers right, tight end to the left side, 1 back in the backfield on 1st and 10. Handoff. This is Price cutting right, still on his feet at the 10-yard line, then carries defenders in a first down territory to the Army 6-yard line. Casey Larkin makes the tackle. They'll give him forward progress down to the 5. It'll be first down and goal as Larkin comes out of the game. Looks like he was favoring his right shoulder. Colin Madison comes on.
Yeah, he used his right shoulder to get low that time on Price, and I think he banged it up pretty good.
So Notre Dame knocking on the door here. 1st and goal for the Fighting Irish at the Army 5-yard line. 10:15 left in this second quarter. Notre Dame on top, 14-7. Leonard will work out of the gun. Pistol formation, takes the snap, and the handoff straight ahead and a couple of yards as the ball carrier came down. That was Price again, 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 3. Cody Harris Miller made the tackle.
And Dre Miller helped him out, too. So here's the situation. They lose Kyle Lewis for this game, so they went with Trey Sophia early in the ball game, but now Miller's jumped into that defensive end spot.
2nd and goal for Notre Dame from the Army 3-yard line. Price to the left of Leonard. Man in motion right to left. 2 slots for Notre Dame. Leonard's going to keep it. Leaps the line and then gets pushed back. Was nowhere to go. Maybe forward progress of about a half yard. But credit Eric Ford, who led the charge in that group of Army players who met Leonard at the apex and drove him back along with Dre Miller.
One of the offensive linemen also banged up a little bit for Notre Dame, was slow getting off the turf.
And everyone remains in the game. Notre Dame sends a receiver out to the right side. That's Jaden Thomas. This is 3rd down and goal for Notre Dame at the Army 3. A knee brace was just hurled from the left side of the Notre Dame offensive line to the Notre Dame sideline. 3rd and goal. Play clock running down. Leonard hands off straight ahead. It's Price moving the pile toward the goal line. Army says they stopped them, and it appears they did at the 1-yard line. And Marcus Freeman immediately signaling to go for it here. Jack Latour made the stop. And it'll be 4th and goal for Notre Dame from the Army 1. And Jeremiah Love comes back in the game. Fighting Irish going to roll the dice and go for it here with 8:20 left in the second quarter and a 14-7 lead. It's 4th and goal for Notre Dame inside the Army 1-yard line. Pistol formation. Thomas goes in motion right to left. Leonard takes the snap, hands off. He didn't get there. Jeremiah Love was stopped as Army got penetration in the backfield. Love tried to go airborne, didn't even come close.
Army had just brought Larkin back in 2 plays earlier, and he came over from the side, and he got the ball carrier. He ran interference on the play, and it was just jammed up in the middle.
And Fortner came over to help out to bury Jeremiah Love. The Army defense again comes up big in the red zone during this 2024 season, and Army will take over 1st and 10 at its own 2-yard line when we come back. 8:06 left second quarter. Here at Yankee Stadium, number 6 Notre Dame leading number 19 Army 14-7. You're listening to Black Knights College Football right here on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Bill Fioravanti of the Orange County IDA. Here's a story of how the IDA helped a very special sports field find a home. When New York State announced the closure of a correctional facility in Warwick, New York, our IDA refused to let it become a vacant eyesore. Instead, we used funds collected from employers that received IDA incentives to repurpose the campus into a corporate park and recreational facility. The new Warwick Valley Technology and Corporate Park is now the home of beautiful people, a special adaptive sports field for local children with disabilities, and several other quality employers. We are the Orange County IDA, building a better future for you.
You've seen the headlines: inflation, higher prices. Have you factored in higher prices in your retirement? Ooh, you hadn't thought of that, right? Have you looked at this? Do you need more information? I would suggest Ken Mahoney's book called 10 Things to Do Before You Retire. Each chapter builds on one another to put you and your loved ones in a better position. Now, the book sells at Amazon and Barnes & Noble, but just go to MahoneyGPS.com for more information. And Ken and Connor Mahoney, by the way, support Army football big time. Go to MahoneyGPS.com for more information about the book, 10 Things to Do Before You Retire. Or call them at 845-371-0101.
You're listening to the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
Joe Beckerly back at Yankee Stadium. Army just got a huge stop on 4th and goal at the 1-yard line and will take over on downs. But first, let's talk about why this game's being played here today. It's the 100th anniversary of the 1924 game, which saw the rise of the Four Horsemen of Notre Dame, comprised of a group of players under head coach Newt Rockne as the backfield that played and upset Army that year at the Polo Grounds 13-7. Harry Strudrailer, Don Miller, Jim Crowley, and Elmer Layden in 1924. The nickname was coined by sports writer Grantland Rice of the New York Herald Tribune, who gave the foursome immortality when he penned one of the most famous newspaper leads of a football game of all time. It went something like this. Outlined against a blue-gray October sky, the Four Horsemen rode again. In dramatic lore, they were known as famine, pestilence, destruction, and death. They don't write it like that anymore. After a team arrived back in South Bend, George Strickler, then Newt Rockne's student publicity aide and later sports editor of the Chicago Tribune, made that name stick, and they had that famous picture of them on the horses. Rich, Dean, Tony?
It's great prose, Joe Beckerly. Army takes over 1st and 10 from its own 2-yard line after the 4th down stop. Udo, the deep back, short in motion behind the formation. Handoff Kanye, bounces off right tackle, and then tried to bounce it outside. Nearly caught in the end zone for a safety, but Drake Bowen took him down at the 1-yard line. Bowen nearly had him in the end zone. It'll be a loss of 1, 2nd down and 11 in dangerous territory.
It wasn't a clean mesh either between the quarterback, Daly, and Udo. And Udo was lucky enough. You said he circled through the end zone and got back out onto the gridiron.
And we've seen Udo do that, try to bounce it outside. That time very dangerous. They'll give him the line of scrimmage. So it's 2nd down and 10. Army going trips left, 1 receiver right. The receiver to the right side, Noah Short. And now Miles Stewart comes in motion left to right. Daly is going to run it off. Left tackle is held on to it about the 5-yard line, trying to push the pile. Picks up a couple out near the 6, 7-yard line. So 4, 5-yard gain. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 5.
So what they do, Rich, they just devise to go all those wide receivers, spread it out, then run the draw up the middle. You have to in this situation. You're backed up against your own goal, and now you're faced with a 3rd down and 5.
Could call it again. Similar formation. Trips out to the left side, crossing the tight end, lined up right. Sure, the deep receiver left. Short comes in motion, left to right. Daly out of the gun on 3rd and 5. Looks right, throws right. It's short, but he's hit immediately and is stopped short of the 1st down. With the tackle, it was Adon Schuler. It'll be 4th down. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
920 WGHQ Kingston, 1260 WBNR Beacon, and 1420 WLNA Peekskill. This is the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
So Army 3 yards short of the 1st down. It'll be 4th and 3. Wagonseller comes back on to kick it away for the 3rd time. Last punt was blocked. This time Notre Dame doesn't come after it. Hurlman waiting back near midfield. Calls for a fair catch, makes it at the Army 43-yard line. So a 34-yard punt, and Notre Dame is going to begin this drive in good field position inside the Army 45-yard line. And we will step aside. When we come back, it'll be Notre Dame football. 5:58 left, 2nd quarter here at Yankee Stadium. Notre Dame 14, Army 7. You're listening to Black Knights College Football right here on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
What exactly does MCOR do? For healthcare facilities, we help keep patients and staff safe and comfortable. For data centers, we help the digital economy flow more reliably. For office buildings, we help make work environments secure, efficient, and compliant. In other words, for businesses and industries of every type, at MCOR, we build, power, service, and protect.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
You're listening to the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
Army football is brought to you by PenFed. Great rates for everyone. Visit PenFed.org to learn more. And Army football brought to you by West Point Family and MWR. FMWR offers horse sporting, golfing, skiing, catering, camping, and many more activities and programs. Visit westpoint.armymwr.com for more information. So Army held Notre Dame on a 4th and goal from the Black Knights 1. The ensuing poor field position, Army goes 3 and out, and the result of that, Notre Dame ends up with good field position off the Army punt. They'll begin 1st and 10 at the Black Knights 43 with 5:58 left in the 2nd quarter, and the Fighting Irish leading the Black Knights 14-7.
Yeah, Notre Dame was billed obviously correctly as a great defensive team when you look at it. 3rd in the nation and giving up points, 6th in the nation in total defense. They're really good themselves in the red zone. But you look at the solo tackles in the game so far, Rich, they have 18 solo tackles out of their 24 tackles. So that's a lot of good play. You mentioned Osbury a few different times and Watson. I mean, these are real athletes out on the defense. Now it's up to Army's defense to come up here. They're going to be pinned against the wall a little bit here in minus territory, so to speak.
So Love back in the game. He had come in for Price late in that drive where Army picked up the stop. Leonard out of the shotgun with Love to his right. 3 receivers on the play. Handoff, Love, left side, cuts back 40-yard line to the 35, has the 1st down inside the 30-yard line to the 25, and then finally spun down at the Army 23-yard line. Max DiDomenico made the tackle, and that was a big run. It'll go for 23. They'll give him progress down to the 20. It'll be 1st and 10 Notre Dame.
Nate Woody told me this is a guy that can play in the pros actually right now, but he's only a sophomore in college. 6 foot, 210. He's got the mobility. He's got the speed. and he's a leading rusher coming into the game. He's had some big ones.
And coming off a career-high 137 yards and 2 touchdowns 1 week ago against Virginia. Leonard out of the gun here on 1st and 10 for Notre Dame from the Army 20. Claps his hands, takes the snap, hands off, straight ahead. It's Love, gets by one defender, then dives forward to the 14-yard line. Just the moves left to right. Andon Thomas makes the tackle, but Jeremiah Love, he is something special in that backfield for Notre Dame. It'll be 2nd and 4 for the Fighting Irish from the Army 14.
Very fortunate. Andon Thomas got him down around the ankles, kind of tripped him up as he was going through the A-gap, and Army's getting just kind of blown off there in the middle of the line of scrimmage, and they're not really allowing their linebackers to come up and make many tackles.
Love to the right of Leonard. 2 receivers right and 1 left. Leonard out of the gun. Hand off left side. It's Love. 10-yard line. Cuts back to the 5 and dances in for the touchdown. 14 yards out. Jeremiah Love scores touchdown number 13 on the 2024 season, and Notre Dame is back on the scoreboard with 4 minutes and 35 seconds left until halftime.
Yeah, he just meandered his way into the second level, and good blocking up front. And he's got some swift moves, as you mentioned earlier, Rich, as we're looking here at the replay. They just dominated at the nose tackle position, and he just jumps into those gaps, and then he takes off. He was going to go left, and then he cut it back quickly to the right.
His hips and that lateral movement coming out to attempt the extra point. Mitch Jeter, 33 of 33 on the season, and the kick is up, just slipped it through. The snap wasn't great, and Army nearly got to it with Jaden Mays. But Notre Dame increases the lead to 21-7 with 4:35 left in this second quarter. We'll have more from Yankee Stadium coming up in just a moment. You're listening to Black Knights College Football right here on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
Step into Fishkill Flooring, your one-stop shop for all flooring needs. Fishkill Flooring is a local family-run business with carpet, luxury vinyl tile, and hardwood flooring available, with many styles of carpet and luxury vinyl tile in stock for quick installation. But that's not all. Fishkill Flooring can also handle carpet cleaning services and your property management needs. Visit Fishkill Flooring on Route 82 in Hopewell Junction today, behind Hopewell Easy Storage, or online at fishkillflooring.com. Don't delay. Transform your home today.
Mercedes-Benz of Orange County is a proud supporter of the U.S. military and Army football. Army values include duty, honor, integrity, loyalty, respect, and selfless service. Mercedes-Benz of Orange County share the same values at their dealerships. That's why they're the #1 choice of consumers year after year, with thousands of 5-star consumer ratings. To see their full line of comfortable and capable Mercedes-Benz SUVs, go to benzelbusch.com/MBOC.
You're listening to the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
Army West Point Athletics and the United States Military Academy would like to recognize its Team Army partners, industry leaders such as Stryker, Coca-Cola, Amcor, The Exchange, USAA, and CBS Sports Network, whose values and beliefs are in line with those of the Academy. Because of the generosity of Team Army members, cadet athletes are ensured of a tremendous athletic experience. And Army West Point Athletics brought to you by the GM Military Appreciation Program. Get a special offer on Chevrolet vehicles at GMMilitaryAppreciation.com. Rich DeMarco, Dean Darling, Joe Beckerly, and Tony Marino back at the ball yard in the Bronx. Yankee Stadium, number 19 Army trailing number 6 Notre Dame, 21-7. 4:35 left till halftime, and Jeremiah Love made it look easy on that touchdown run.
He did. We bring you the MCOR scoring drive summary after Army was pinned deep in their own end. After getting their own goal line stand, they basically had a punt out of their own end zone, and they only got it to the 41-yard line. 3 plays later, Jeremiah Love, 14-yard touchdown run, and that is his 13th of his campaign. And that is the 11th straight game he has scored a rushing touchdown. He has now tied the Notre Dame single-season record with that number. So Love on the board, 14 yards. Remember, he caught a touchdown pass earlier in the half, and it's 21-7 Notre Dame.
So Notre Dame in control. 4:35 left till halftime. The key here, Notre Dame will receive the second half kickoff. So not to squeeze Army and put even more pressure on the Black Knights, but this is an important drive for this Army offense. with both Benson and Stewart back deep. And here's the kickoff from Goins. And Benson calls for a fair catch and makes the play at the 1-yard line. And that is where Army will begin with the ball taken out to the 25, 1st and 10. One of the things to watch for, Dean, how the Army offensive line holding up against Notre Dame's defensive line. And you had touched upon it on the last drive, or 2 drives ago. Army's offensive line getting manhandled. Black Knights figured something out on that touchdown drive, especially with Bryson Daly running the ball to create some advantage.
I like what I saw with the slant blocking. That seemed to work really well. And then you got to run a little bit of a counter as well.
One receiver out to the left side here on 1st and 10. Reed in motion behind the formation. Here's a flip to Noah Short on an end around, but Notre Dame has it tracked down in the backfield, gets by one defender, and then on the far sideline, lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage as he was pushed out by Asbury along with Kaiser.
He was in no man's land out there on the left side, and they tried to go with a little trickery on the flip back to him, and he basically made something out of there, but then, man, got whacked.
Joshua Burnham was the one juked in the backfield, but then Noah Short got hit hard. A loss of 1 on the play, back to the 24. It's 2nd and 11 for Army from the left hash. Udo, the deep back. 4 minutes left until halftime. Army trailing by 14. Daly fake handoff, pitch near side. This is Short, looking to bounce it outside, and again is slowed down and brought down. That time, credit Christian Gray, the corner, who came up and popped through and broke through his tackle. It was Liam Fortner trying to hold that tackle. Could not. Short couldn't get outside. Another loss of 1. It'll be 3rd down and 12.
Yeah, they're just too quick for Army's wide receivers to stay on. One of the keys was to sustain blocks. That was not a sustained block right there. And Gray came up and made the tackle.
3rd and 12 for Army from the Black Knights' 23-yard line. 2 receivers left and 1 right. Udo, the one back in the backfield. Daly out of the gun, looking, dumps it over the middle. The pass caught at the 30-yard line. Near side, Hayden Reed has the first down and then forced out of bounds at the Army 40-yard line. 17-yard gain, though a penalty flag back at the 15-yard line.
That was a good throw. Caught him in flight. Hayden Reed caught it off the Daly arm.
Personal foul, chop block, offense, number 51 and number 6. 15-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
Brady Small and Kanye Udo. So a big play of 17 yards, longest pass
Correction,
catch.
will enforce it half the distance to the goal.
So half the distance from the 23. So the ball will end up near the 11, 12-yard line.
Udo came over, and he kind of got him on the hip. It was the high hip. Sometimes they'll call that because they want to protect the lower part of the body.
And it's so close. It's so close. And a big play turns into now a big distance for Army. 3rd down at about 22. 2 play fakes. Daly hurls it down the right side for Tyrell Robinson. Incomplete. And he was defended down the far sideline by Xavier Watts. It'll be 4th and 23 from the Army 12. And dangerous now with 2:49 left in the half. Army's going to punt it away. And the pressure on Wagonseller as Notre Dame could end up in good field position with a chance to put another score on the board.
Yeah, he had a poor punt the last time in the 32-yard range. And again, he's going to be punting out of his end zone.
Hurlman waiting right at midfield for the kick. Wagonseller about 3 yards deep in his end zone. Good snap. Notre Dame doesn't come after it. A low kick, and it bounces at the 40-yard line, takes an Army rollout near midfield, and comes to a rest at the Army 49. So a 37-yard kick, no return. Notre Dame will take over. 1st and 10 at the Army 49-yard line with 2:40 left until halftime. Let's go down to the field and Tony.
Guys, you talked about that chop block call, and Jeff Monken was irate with talking to the linesman and also the referee screaming out to them. He felt that Udo had actually fell into when he blocked him, he was above the waist. He felt he was above the waist, and he was irate about that call. Didn't let it go right up through the punt.
And those are the plays, right? That's that's just like a turnover, right? You're looking at an Army first down at the 40-yard line. Instead, Notre Dame's taking over at the Army 49. Yeah. So they'll officially spot it at the 50. So Fighting Irish take over, 1st and 10 at midfield. 2:40 left till halftime. Notre Dame on top, 21-7. Leonard out of the shotgun, play fake. Back to throw, looking left and dumps it off to the tight end. And cutting back and falling forward with his first catch of the game is Mitchell Evans. He's a good one. 23rd catch of the season. Was having an all-time year last year before it was cut short with an injury. And that's a gain of, we'll give him 6 yards on the play. It'll bring up 2nd down at about 4.
Evans caught a touchdown pass last week. As you mentioned, back in 23, he was having a good year. 8 games into the season, he tore his ACL, and they said he's just rounding into shape now in the second half of this year.
Aeneas Williams is the running back in the backfield on this drive. Leonard back to throw, penalty flag on the play, hurls it far side, and the pass caught at the Army 30-yard line. Andon Thomas jumping on the receiver to take him down. It was Chris Mitchell on the reception, the senior transfer from Florida International. But this may come back with a penalty flag at the Army 43-yard line on the far sideline.
And again, he had so much time to look.
Offside, defense number 52. That penalty's declined. Offense will take the result of the play, which is a 1st down. So the 2-minute timeout.
So Cody Harris-Miller declined, of course. They'll take the big pass and catch and run by Chris Mitchell. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Notre Dame at the Army 15 as we hit the 2-minute timeout with 1:54 left till halftime. Number 6 Notre Dame leading number 19 Army 21-7. You're listening to Black Knights College Football right here on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
To those dedicated to defending our country, we recognize and appreciate your service. The GM Military Appreciation Program is the official automotive sponsor of Army West Point Athletics, and we're proud to honor all active U.S. military members, veterans, and retirees with a special offer on eligible new Chevrolet vehicles. It's our way of showing we have your back. Visit gmmilitaryappreciation.com to learn more.
Check, check, and check. That's the sound of me getting a jump start on my holiday list. But I can't take all the credit. Kohl's makes it too easy. I got my daughter a mini instant camera, my husband his favorite cologne, my sister Kookaburra by UGG slippers, and that's just the beginning. Then I got 20% off some of my other gifts. Yep, it doesn't get better than Kohl's. Select styles. Offer valid to November 23rd. Coupons do not apply to Tech, Sephora at Kohl's, and Kookaburra by UGG. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
You're listening to the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
You're in it.
When the holidays get real, start at Kohl's and Kohls.com, where you'll find amazing deals on everything you need all in one place so you can focus on the moments that matter. Kohl's, where families come first. And the 125th meeting of Army-Navy presented by USAA will be played on December 14th at Northwest Stadium in Washington, D.C. Army and Navy salute USAA for serving as the presenting sponsor of the Army-Navy game. The academies also thank participating sponsors Chevrolet, The Exchange, Duke Cannon Supply Company, and Palantir, as well as the American Legion, our newest sponsor, for their support. Army trailing Notre Dame 21-7, though the Fighting Irish threatening with 1:54 left till halftime here at Yankee Stadium with a 1st and 10 at the Black Knights 15.
Well, we're talking a break. Leonard has so much time. He hasn't been even touched in the pocket. He's just stepping through his throws. He's 8 for 8 in the ball game for a perfect 115 yards and 2 touchdowns. Right now, his rating, Rich, is 303.3 as a passer in this ball game. So Riley Leonard, he came in a 64.7% accuracy passer, and he's having himself a game. He's already got 14 touchdown passes when you include the 2 tonight. He was at Duke. He really got hobbled at Duke with an ankle injury that was suffered against Notre Dame just about a year ago. Now he tried to come back from it. He re-injured it. He had to get surgery. Missed most of spring ball in Notre Dame, and now stepping into the leadership role.
Aeneas Williams stays in the backfield. So Notre Dame's mixed it up with Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price, and now Aeneas Williams to the right of Leonard. 2 receivers on the play. Handoff to Williams, running left, and he stood up. Casey Larkin able to lead the charge, along with Andon Thomas. A gain of maybe 1 down to the 14-yard line. Clock stops with 1:49 left and a timeout, it appears, called by Notre Dame. Or check that, Army, it appears, calling the timeout. So clock stops with 1:49 left in the half. Jeff Monken looking to get the ball back one more time. Join me, Rich DeMarco, Army head coach Jeff Monken, for This Week in Army Football, the radio show, on Tuesday, November 26th, because of the Thanksgiving holiday, at the Cadet First Class Club on West Point from 7:30 until 8:30 p.m. Fans can enjoy food and drink specials. Talk to Coach Monken about the Black Knights and their upcoming opponent. That's This Week in Army Football, live from the Firsty Club. It'll be a 2nd and 9 for Notre Dame from the Army 14. Aeneas Williams, a true freshman. We talked about the 3 Notre Dame running backs we've seen. 1,300-yard rusher from 1 year ago, Audric Estime, who's from Nyack. He's in the NFL with the Denver Broncos. Price back in the ball game. Leonard will work out of the shotgun. Straight back to throw on 2nd down. Lofts it over the middle. Incomplete, off the hand of the intended receiver, Jaden Greathouse, who nearly had an Odell Beckham Jr. Garrett Wilson type of catch, and it was Casey Larkin on the coverage.
Yeah, Greathouse ran that post to perfection, and the ball was just too high. First incompletion of the game in 9 throws, and Riley Leonard a little bit miffed at himself right there. He had him.
3rd down and 9 for Notre Dame from the Army 14. 1:45 left till halftime. Notre Dame on top of the Black Knights, 21-7. Leonard working out of the gun. Tight-ended motion, Mitchell Evans. 2 receivers left and 2 right. And Leonard going to run it. Has a big hole. 10-yard line to the 5. Goes airborne. Has the first down. And then squirts forward on Chance Keith to the Army 1-yard line. And now Notre Dame's going to line up quickly, it appears. And there's an injured Black Knight in the end zone, Max DiDomenico.
And he's holding his right leg.
And Leonard went airborne. Then after Chance Keith had a hand on him, Dean was able to just push himself forward. Keith had one leg, and Leonard was able to make the play.
Army takes its final time out of the half.
Max DiDomenico, who had a broken hand earlier this year and came back from that. And Jeff Monken is out now there to take a look at one of his captains.
Looks like his left leg is being looked at. And again, when you play these games late in the season, no one's 100%. Jeff Monken very proud that 21 of the 22 starters from week 1 were projected to start this game. The lone exception, Kyle Lewis, who's out tonight with a lower body injury. And then the last thing you want to see for this back-to-back potentially games for Army late in the season is more injuries. Let's go down to Tony Marino on the field.
Hey, guys, it is the right leg they're looking at on DiDomenico. He is able to bend it, and he brought it up, and he kind of pulled his knees to his, as he set up to his abdomen area, and kind of has his hands on his helmet. So he is visibly upset, and the training staff continues to work on him. They're talking to him, I think, trying to get some information out of him, and they're going to lift him up to his feet, but he is favoring that right leg, and he's going to have to be carried off.
So with DiDomenico out, we've seen Army cycle in a number of safeties. Madison came on for Larkin earlier this game. Gavin Shields has been a big special teams player for Army after coming back from an injury himself. He came back for the North Texas game. And now DiDomenico going into what's the third base dugout since we're behind home plate. And that's where the Army team came out from, and not a good thing to see.
No.
One of Army's starters, one of Army's defensive stars, injured. Shields comes in for DiDomenico, and it'll be 1st and goal for Notre Dame. They spot the ball back at the 2-yard line with 1:39 left till halftime. Multiple motion, and now a quick snap as Riley Leonard cuts right, flips over, and is going to be short inside the 1-yard line. Leonard is marked down. It'll be 2nd down and goal, and the clock moving with 1:25 left in the half. Notre Dame still with 3 timeouts. They're not in any rush because we've got, 3 plays left in the half. There's no first down to get. Second and goal for Notre Dame. Inside the Army 1. Same formation. Leonard running right. Leaps and he's taken down. Hello, Madozi. Met him up top and then Pyle drove him to the ground. Madozi's height and length met the leap of Riley Leonard. And it'll be third down and goal.
Elo's had a really quiet game, but boy, he challenged that time coming off the perimeter, and he got underneath the pins that time of Leonard. I don't know why Notre Dame is forcing the issue, so I don't know why they're not trying to throw the ball into the end zone.
Play action pass quickly down to Tony.
Hey guys, Leonard is definitely hobbled a little bit. He is very gingerly out there.
Price is in the game. He'll dot the pistol formation here on third and goal from the Army 2. Leonard hands off to Price, running left, being strung out, gets by Platt and goes in for the touchdown. And Jadarian Price takes it in from 2 yards out, and with 26 seconds left in the first half, Notre Dame strikes again.
Yeah, they got the ball out on the perimeter. Their speed was just too good right there, as Army just was pinched into the middle of the field and just couldn't catch up with him as he got to the corner.
And Platt had a shot at him, and just the elusive Price was able to sidestep him. Jeter on to attempt the extra point. And these are big 2 touchdowns late in this first half for Notre Dame. Snap, down, kick, up, and good. And Notre Dame, a 21-point lead over Army, 28-7 with 26 seconds left till halftime here at Yankee Stadium.
That's a 3-headed running back attack that we have witnessed here in the first half, and all of them have all kinds of moves. And again, taking that play to the outside, and you were right. Army had a really good opportunity. Platt had a really good chance to get him around the 4-yard line, but he slipped out of his grasp and got into the end zone.
Army fans, ankle pain keeping you on the sidelines? Get back in the game. Stryker's Ankle Replacement Solutions can help restore your range of motion. Learn more at stryker.com/westpoint. 26 seconds left in the half. Army 1 timeout remaining. Notre Dame will be receiving the second half kickoff. Jeremiah Love, 2 touchdowns tonight. Jadarian Price, 1 touchdown tonight. Benson and Stewart back deep for Army. And Goins kickoff. Carries down to Benson. Near sideline. Fair catch called for and made. Late, that fair catch called for at the 7-yard line. Ball will come out to the 25. Army, nothing to lose here. 1 timeout, 26 seconds left in the half.
Display on the scoreboard that Army is out of timeouts. Army has exhausted all their timeouts for the half.
Okay, so we are corrected as we were working off the scoreboard and the stats. So that last drive, Army took a couple of timeouts. It was interesting how many ended up being called. So Army in a tight formation with Rendina, the deep back. And a man goes in motion left to right. That's Noah Short. Daly's going to run it on first down. Takes it right side, cuts back at the 35-yard line. A fumble recovered by Notre Dame at the Army 45. It just popped loose as Bryson Daly was falling down. And it appeared jumping on it was Jack Kaiser at the 45-yard line for Army. It was forced as Daly was coming down. Leonard Moore, the cornerback, got a hand on it, and then Kaiser jumped on it and definitely out before Daly's knee touched the ground. First turnover of the game for Army. And Notre Dame, with 19 seconds left in the half, will have another opportunity, still with 3 timeouts and a 28-7 lead.
That was a really nice run, too. What a shame. And Daly's now turned it over 2 consecutive games, as he had one against North Texas, interception. But Army fumbles for only the 3rd time this year.
So Leonard out of the gun. Notre Dame 3 timeouts, 19 seconds, 1st and 10 at the Army 44. Leonard, pump fake, fires down the sideline, and it's caught inbounds, and making the catch was Jaden Thomas, the junior. And that was inside the Army 30-yard line at about the 28. Not sure if he held on to the football. That's going to be reviewed with 14 seconds left in the half.
First time out of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
So Marcus Freeman now will look at how to dial this up as we see a replay of that catch. Great job pinning it against his shoulder pad. The ball did move, but I don't think Thomas lost control. So it appears now the catch will stand.
He kept his arm on it the whole time, even though the ball did hit the ground, but he seemed to secure the possession. He got it caught right inside by his elbow and cradled it. It did hit, though, and I'm surprised they're not taking a look at it.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Notre Dame at the Army 29. Irish will work from the left hash. 2 receivers right and 1 left. 1 back next to Leonard to the quarterback's right. Riley Leonard claps his hands out of the shotgun. 14 seconds left in the half. Play fake. Leonard back to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Now might run with it. Try to get rid of it. Takes it near sideline to the 25. And then Trey Miller forces him out of bounds right there. Clock will stop with 7 seconds left in the half. And Leonard, a little hobbled. Tony Marino had mentioned it last drive. Almost like he's shaking it off after hitting the turf.
A couple of these goal line stands by Army, he's gotten whacked and hit low and hard by the Army defenders. So
looks like Notre Dame will try to run one more offensive play here. They have 2 timeouts. 2nd and 6 at the Army 25. 7 seconds left in the half. Fighting Irish leading the Black Knights 28-7. Leonard working out of the gun. 1 back to his right. Leonard takes the snap, rolls to his left, pump fakes, dumps it, and throws it out of bounds. Threw it away. No one was open. Had Love in the backfield. He was closest to the play. And now the field goal unit will come on with 3 seconds left in the half. And field goal kicking has been an adventure for Notre Dame this season.
It has. As a team, they've used 3 different kickers. They're 8 for 15. Interesting story that Jeter opened the year in grand style. He hit a couple 46-yarders at Texas A&M. They got him to win. Since that time, he has only hit 3 of his last 6.
This will be from 43. Jeter hit a 48-yarder earlier in the season. Had 2 blocked against Notre Dame. High snap and penalty flags come in as the play was blown dead before Jeter got a chance at the kick.
False start on the offense. It's number 75, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So this will move it out to about a 48-yard field goal. His longest field goal in a Notre Dame uniform was 48 yards against Louisville. He's a transfer from South Carolina. Had a 53-yarder against Georgia State in 2022. This will go at right around 47, 48 yards from the left hash, an angle to the right. Andrew Cross will snap it. Chris Salerno is the holder. Snap. Ball is down. The kick is up. It's got the distance, though it's way off to the right. No good. So Jeter, no good from 48 yards. And that ends the first half of play. Notre Dame taking advantage of a blocked punt, a short punt, and an Army turnover to lead 28-7 here at halftime. Down to the field, Tony Marino catching up with Army head coach Jeff Monken.
Coach, how do you slow this offense down and get things back on track in the second half?
Well, we're going to try to figure that out. They're really good. They're running the ball very effectively against us. They're hitting some receivers underneath, which we got to give them that stuff. But, you know, the block punt is really embarrassing. We gave them a 7-yard field. We can't do those things. You know, we're going to have to play a whole lot better in every phase if we're going to have a chance to come back and win this game. It's a great football team we're playing. So we'll try to make some adjustments, get these guys settled down, and see if we can play better in the second half.
Thanks for your time, Coach. Back upstairs.
And Notre Dame will receive the second half kickoff at the half here at Yankee Stadium. Number 6, Notre Dame, 28. Number 19, Army, 7. Joe Beckerly, our program host, will have the full halftime report coming up for you in just a moment. You're listening to Black Knights College Football right here on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Black Knight fans, the 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Army football games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the Army Black Knights. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Army West Point Athletics and the United States Military Academy would like to recognize its Team Army partners. Industry leaders such as Stryker, USAA, Coca-Cola, MCOR, The Exchange, and CBS Sports Network, whose values and beliefs are in line with those of the Academy. Because of the generosity of Team Army members, cadet athletes are ensured of a tremendous athletic experience. Army West Point Athletics would like to thank the Black Knights Restaurant and Tavern partners. Brothers Barbecue, the preferred restaurant and catering partner of Army West Point Athletics. And O'Toole's Pub, the best place to celebrate the Black Knights, not only post-game, but any day. For more information, visit the restaurant and taverns portion of GoArmyWestPoint.com. That's GoArmyWestPoint.com. Support those who support the Corps.
What exactly does MCOR do? For healthcare facilities, we help keep patients and staff safe and comfortable. For data centers, we help the digital economy flow more reliably. For office buildings, we help make work environments secure, efficient, and compliant. In other words, for businesses and industries of every type, at MCOR, we build, power, service, and protect.
Lockheed Martin's vision of 21st century security means preparing to make split-second decisions with certainty. Because whether your mission is over land, on the sea, through the air, in outer space, or cyberspace, our mission is to help you detect the threats, connect the tech, and protect what matters most in every domain of operation. Lockheed Martin, ensuring those we serve always stay ahead of ready.
Ankle pain and limited mobility keeping you on the sidelines? Army West Point Athletics has joined forces with Stryker, an expert in foot and ankle surgical solutions. As one of the world's leading medical technology companies, Stryker offers innovative foot and ankle products that help you get back in the game and on your feet so you can keep doing what you love. Visit Stryker.com/WestPoint to learn more and find a specialized surgeon in your area so you can rediscover your freedom of movement.
On the Army Sports Network from Learfield, Army Black Knights football is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Tackle game day with a great taste of Coke Zero Sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? By FW Web, proud sponsor of Army West Point Athletics. And by SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of Army West Point Athletics. Find tickets to Black Knights games and more. Welcome to the Coca-Cola Halftime Show. Here's Joe Beckerly.
At the head from Yankee Stadium in New York City, it's number 6 Notre Dame 28, number 19 Army 7. Army West Point Athletics and the United States Military Academy would like to recognize its Team Army partners, industry leaders such as Stryker, Coca-Cola, MCOR, The Exchange, USAA, and CBS Sports Network, whose values and beliefs are in line with those of the Academy. Because of the generosity of Team Army members, cadet athletes are ensured of a tremendous athletic experience. Well, let's take a look at the recap of the scoring in the first half, brought to you by MCOR, proud partner of Army at West Point Athletics. Army took the opening kickoff and were forced to punt on a 3-and-out. First time this season that the Black Knights were unable to score on its opening possession. Notre Dame got the ball and went to this house, got the first score of the game on this call by Rich DeMarco.
Love to the right of Leonard, who works out of the gun here on 2nd down and 1 from the Army 28. A receiver to either side. Tight end goes in motion right to left. Leonard awaiting the football. Straight back to throw. Looking left, looking right. Hurls it toward the end zone. Pass caught at the 5. And then taking it in for the touchdown for Notre Dame. The tight end, Eli Raridan. So it's Faison with the touchdown. Jordan Faison with the score. The sophomore wide receiver from Fort Lauderdale takes it in, a 28-yard scoring toss, and Notre Dame is on the board.
5 plays, 68 yards, only 2 minutes, 17 seconds off the clock. The extra point from Mitch Jeter was good, and Notre Dame had the 7-0 lead. Army got its second possession, also a 3-and-out. On the punt attempt, it was blocked by Notre Dame. They got the ball back at the Army 7 and took it in.
Love the one back to the right of Leonard here on 3rd and goal. Tight end goes in motion left to right. Riley Leonard back to throw. Sets up the screen to Love at the 5-yard line. Heads to the corner, leaps over Donovan Platt, and heads into the end zone for the touchdown. Jeremiah Love, his 19th reception this season. Second touchdown set up off the block punt by Brian Young, and Notre Dame back on the scoreboard with 6 minutes and 30 seconds left in this opening quarter.
They needed just 3 plays to go the 7 yards, 138, and the Jeter extra point was good. 14-0. Army staked Notre Dame the lead, but with 6:30 to play in the first quarter, Army started one of its patented Army drives. They went 75 yards on 12 plays, took just about 8 minutes off the clock, and Bryson Daly got on the board for the Black Knights.
1st and goal for Army from the Notre Dame 4-yard line. Udo is the deep back, heavy to the right side for Army. Daly waiting under center. Bryson takes the snap, runs right, cuts back toward the goal line, and he's in! Touchdown Army! The Black Knights are on the board here at Yankee Stadium. Bryson Daly from 4 yards out, touchdown number 22 on the 2024 season, and Army is right back in this football game.
And a long drive for Army, helped by 3 Notre Dame penalties: a face mask, an offsides on a 4th down play, and a personal foul on 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. Army was able to capitalize on all that and get on the board with 13:53 to go in the second quarter. Notre Dame, on its next possession, drove it down all the way to the 1-yard line. 4th and goal on the one with 8:20 to play in the second quarter, and Army gets its first stop of the game.
It's 4th and goal for Notre Dame inside the Army 1-yard line. Pistol formation. Thomas goes in motion right to left. Leonard takes the snap, hands off. He didn't get there. Jeremiah Love was stopped as Army got penetration in the backfield. Love tried to go airborne, didn't even come close.
Looked like things were turning for the Black Knights, and momentum might be going their way. They got the ball back on the 1-yard line. Shades of North Texas when they took it the full length of the field to score. Not this time. Army was forced to punt from its own end zone, gave Notre Dame the short field, and the Irish capitalized.
Leonard out of the gun. Handoff left side. It's Love. 10-yard line. Cuts back to the 5 and dances in for the touchdown. 14 yards out. Jeremiah Love scores touchdown number 13 on the 2024 season, and Notre Dame is back on the scoreboard with 4 minutes and 35 seconds left until halftime.
Jeremiah Love's second touchdown of the game, a 14-yard run, 3 plays, 41 yards, 1:23 off the clock. Again, Mitch Jeter's point after was good. Notre Dame up 21-7, and they weren't done. Army got the ball back. A fumble by Bryson Daly led to this Notre Dame score.
Price is in the game. He'll dot the pistol formation here on 3rd and goal from the Army 2. Leonard hands off to Price, running left, being strung out, gets by Platt and goes in for the touchdown. And Jadarian Price takes it in from 2 yards out, and with 26 seconds left in the first half, Notre Dame strikes again.
8 plays, 50 yards, 2:14 off the clock, and that's the way the first half would end. Notre Dame 28, Army 7, going into the halftime locker room. More to come on the Coca-Cola Halftime Show. We'll take a look at some of the numbers of this one and scores of other games going on around the country. Stay with us. You're listening to Black Knights College Football from Learfield.
Are you a Common Access card holder? DoD civilians with a CAC or CAC card can shop your exchange in-store and online at shopmyexchange.com, accessing military exclusive prices that are always tax-free. Shopping your exchange strengthens military communities. Just go to shopmyexchange.com/vets and click on the banner welcoming CAC holders for more information. That's shopmyexchange.com/vets.
To those dedicated to defending our country, we recognize and appreciate your service. The GM Military Appreciation Program is the official automotive sponsor of Army West Point Athletics, and we're proud to honor all active U.S. military members, veterans, and retirees with a special offer on eligible new Chevrolet vehicles. It's our way of showing we have your back. Visit gmmilitaryappreciation.com to learn more.
Life is full of adventures.
Do you take this man to be your husband?
I do. Welcome home.
We did it. He has your eyes.
He's perfect.
Make the most of them all with PenFed checking and savings accounts. Learn more at PenFed.org. Federally insured by NCAA. To receive any advertised product, you must become a member of PenFed Credit Union.
PenFed's got great rates for everyone. This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Here's St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, Black Knight fans, the 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Army football games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the Army Black Knights. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Army West Point. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
Back on the Coca-Cola halftime show, Black Knights of Army trailing Notre Dame 28-7. The Army A Club is dedicated to supporting the United States Military Academy's overall mission and the mission of Army West Point Athletics by generating financial support for the purpose of providing an extraordinary Division I athletic experience that develops leaders of character committed to the values of duty, honor, and country. By supporting the Army A Club, you ensure that more than 1,000 cadet athletes have the opportunities and means necessary to accomplish all they can in their relentless pursuit of excellence as scholars, athletes, and leaders. Visit www.armyaclub.com or call 845-938-2322. Look at the stats in this one. Not good for the Black Knights. Only 85 total offensive yards in the first half. 2 passing yards on 1 of 2 passing for the Black Knights. 83 yards rushing on 23 attempts. They had 1 penalty and 1 turnover on the Bryson Daly fumble. 16-22 in time of possession. On the other side, Notre Dame, 258 yards in the first half, 130 through the air, 9 of 8 passing, 128 on the ground on 21 rushing attempts, 4 penalties, no turnovers, 13-38 in time of possession. Individually, for Army, Bryson Daly, again through the air, 1 of 2 for 2 yards. He also is the leading rusher, 61 yards on 14 carries. He has Army's lone touchdown. Kanye Udo, 5 rushes for 19 yards. Terrell Robinson had the ball twice for 5 yards, and Noah Short, -2 yards on 2 attempts. For Notre Dame, again, Riley Leonard, 9 of 11 passing for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jeremiah Love, 62 yards and 6 carries for 1 touchdown. Jordan Price, 35 yards on 6 carries. We're going to take another break here on the Coca-Cola halftime show. Again, number 6 Notre Dame leading number 19 Army 28-7. 28-7. Stay with us. You're listening to Black Knights College Football from Learfield.
Hi, this is Jeff Feldman of Feldman, Kleiman, Collins & Sape. Although we are extremely proud of our reputation for providing top-notch legal advice, we are equally proud of our reputation for social responsibility and giving back. At FKCS, we frequently support a wide variety of local events, charities, and organizations. Being a sponsor of today's game is an example of our commitment to the local community. If you've been injured, call 845-897-5199 for a free consultation or visit us at fkcs.law.
This is Bill Fioravanti of the Orange County IDA. Here's a story of how the IDA helped a very special sports field find a home. When New York State announced the closure of a correctional facility in Warwick, New York, our IDA refused to let it become a vacant eyesore. Instead, we used funds collected from employers that received IDA incentives to repurpose the campus into a corporate park and recreational facility. The new Warwick Valley Technology and Corporate Park is now the home of Beautiful People, a special adaptive sports field for local children with disabilities, and several other quality employers. We are the Orange County IDA, building a better future for you.
You're listening to the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
Back at the Coca-Cola halftime show, Notre Dame 28, Army 7. And this game here at Yankee Stadium harkens back to games of years gone by. And for years, especially in the first half of last century, Army Notre Dame was the game, especially on the Irish's schedule, and only second to Navy on the Army schedule. During the 1940s, the rivalry reached its zenith. Both teams were extremely successful and met several times in key games, usually with national championships on the line. The Black Knights won 3 national titles from 1944, 45, and 46. In 1944, Army gave Notre Dame its worst defeat in its history, 59-0, then shut them out again the next year, this time 48-0. And then in 1946, the game became known as the game of the century as it ended in a scoreless tie. All 3 of those games were played at Yankee Stadium, not this particular Yankee Stadium, the old Yankee Stadium. Army finished that 3-year run undefeated with the only blemish on its record, the scoreless tie in 1946. But it should be noted that in those 3 years, that 3-year stretch of games, Army did not give up a single point to the Irish. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
920 WGHQ Kingston, 1260 WBNR Beacon, and 1420 WLNA Peekskill. This is the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
A couple scores to pass along to you before we start this second half here on the Coca-Cola halftime show. The scoreboard report brought to you by The Exchange. Early in the third quarter, it's number 12 Boise State and Wyoming tied at 7. It's number 7 Alabama at Oklahoma. That game is tied at 3, just about heading into halftime. Auburn on top of number 15 Texas A&M. Early second quarter action, 21-7. Number 22 Iowa at the half, leading Utah 17-13. Earlier today, number 5 Indiana losing to Ohio State, the number 2 ranked team in the country, 38-15. Indiana and Army, along with Oregon, were the 3 remaining undefeated teams in the country. Indiana losing earlier today. Oregon is off, so they will remain undefeated going into next week. And unless Army can come back from a 21-point deficit here at the half, Army might be losing its undefeated status as well. What will happen in the second half? Will the Black Knights turn it around? We'll find out in just a moment. That'll do it for the Coca-Cola halftime show. I'm Joe Beckerly. Let's send it back to Rich, Dean, and Tony for the second half call.
So it's pretty simple here to begin this second half, Dean. Army needs a stop on Notre Dame. Fighting Irish won the coin toss. They deferred to this second half, and everything that went Notre Dame's way, all the breaks, the turnover, the 2 touchdowns, the near field goal at the end of the first half. Army's got to turn it around. They will not have the luxury of the football to begin this second half. It'll be Notre Dame receiving to our right and moving right to left in this third quarter.
And Riley Leonard had himself a good half. When you think about 160 yards of offense, he threw for 130, he ran for another 30. I thought they did a good job in negating him any kind of long runs, but on the other side of the coin, Bryson Daly, he showed out pretty well. 61 yards after a slow start, but you're right, the onus is on the defense right now to try and get stops early.
Jaden Harrison and Max Hurleman back deep. Jaden Harrison was the first-team All-America kick returner at Marshall last year, and it tumbles down to him. Far sideline at the 2-yard line. Runs it left to the 15, 20-yard line, out across the 30, and finally brought down at the 32-yard line. So a 30-yard return for Jaden Harrison, and that's where Notre Dame will begin first down and 10. Riley Leonard, one of our things to watch, Dean. Are they able to keep Riley Leonard contained in the pocket? Couple times the pockets collapsed just because of coverage. Black Knights haven't quite gotten that pressure on him.
And because of his running ability, they haven't sent a lot of pressure at him because they've got to play honest and stay back.
Max DiDomenico is out with the Army defense here to begin this second half. He suffered a lower body injury late in that second quarter. Jeremiah Love is the running back deep in the pistol formation for Riley Leonard and this Notre Dame offense. First and 10 for the Fighting Irish from their own 32. Hand off to Love. Left side cuts back 35-yard line to the 40. Now out near midfield. Going to be a foot race down the near sideline. And he is gone. Jeremiah Love takes it to the house. 68 yards on the first offensive play of the second half. But there's a penalty flag back at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, you're looking at the face of Marcus Freeman, and he is not happy right now. So it might be coming all the way back.
He was hardly touched on that 68-yard touchdown run that appears is going to come back.
Personal foul, legal use of hands to the face, defense, number 97. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
So Notre Dame, which seemingly thought the 68-yard touchdown run was coming back, and now in jubilation on the Fighting Irish sideline as Jeremiah Love goes in from 68 yards. He wasn't even touched on that scoring run, and the Fighting Irish increased the lead to 34-7.
And he had such a running head start when he went off tackle originally, and then when he got to the second level, there was no contest. He just turned it on. DiDomenico playing out there with a lower body injury was trying to chase him, but it was no contest.
Mitch Jeter on to attempt the extra point. He's 4 for 4 tonight. Snap ball is down, and the kick is up, and it's through. So first play in the second half, 68-yard touchdown run for Jeremiah Love. And Notre Dame increases its lead over Army 35-7. And not much to say, Dean, on that drive summary.
Yeah, it's going to be a short one, that's for sure. And 68 yards, and hey, you look right here. Love's got 130 yards. He scored 2 touchdowns with his legs. He also had a touchdown catch in the first quarter. He's having himself a night at Yankee Stadium.
And Love coming off a career-high 137 yards and 2 touchdowns 1 week ago against Virginia. 7 carries, 130 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So he's just warming up in this season. And if Notre Dame goes on to win this game, goes on to the college football playoff, he's going to be one of those ascending players in the month of December.
And the scary thing is, he's a sophomore at Notre Dame.
He scored a rushing touchdown in all 11 games for the Fighting Irish. 14 now on the season. So Notre Dame will kick off from midfield with the 15-yard illegal use of hands penalty on Dre Miller being enforced. Benson and Stewart are deep. And here's a line drive kick picked up by Rendina at the 15-yard line. Then he stumbles to the ground. So Army will begin inside its own 20-yard line, trailing 35-7. Still a lot of time left in this game, Dean, but this is the first of what's going to be 4 straight weeks of games for Army.
Yeah, they're coming off a bye week, but as you said, now really at the end of the season, that's a tough grind.
UTSA coming up next Saturday, then of course the following Friday, the AAC Championship game, then it's Army-Navy week. Handoff to Udo on first down, straight ahead. Hits the wall and then falls forward to about the 20-yard line. That's a gain of 4. It'll be second down and 6. Tackled on the play by Donovan Heinisch.
He's a tough Pittsburgh kid, and Coach Freeman was talking about him this week. He said he doesn't get enough accolades because he is one of the inside guys that just shows the toughness and refuses to be blocked.
And this defensive line for Notre Dame without Howard Cross, one of the nation's best, and a great freshman, Boubacar Traore, as Daly on second down runs left and pushing the pile close to a first down. That's a gain of about 5 near the 25-yard line. Kaiser makes the tackle. So everyone, you could say, dealing with injuries, but Cross and then Traore, he was a good one for Notre Dame early in the season.
Yeah, they lost Morrison, their captain, the cornerback, to a hip injury, first third of the season.
Had 5 picks a couple of years ago, so it's all these stat players. Army coming out with a unique formation, heavy to the left side. Udo, the deep back here on 3rd and 1. Daly keeps it tight, running left side, has the first down across that 25-yard line. So Black Knights able to move the chains, and that's a big first down for Army. Black Knights got to just play their game and control the ball here in the second half. Not worry about the scoreboard. Down 28 points here, 2 minutes into this third quarter. First and 10 for Army from its own 27. Out of the diamond, handoff, Udo straight ahead out to the 30, where he hits a wall of defenders. Drake Bowen among those, and Jack Kaiser making the tackle. That's a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
If you recall, Udo had some big games against good defenses a year ago. LSU, right? He went over 100 yards against an SEC team. Troy, one of the better defensive teams in the country, had over 100 yards. And that one. So he's used to playing against big-time competition. He was held, in his tracks there in the first half.
2nd and 7 for the Black Knights from their own 30 on the left hash. 2:45 gone by in this third quarter. Fake pitch, Daly runs right, and then he's wrapped up in a crowd of defenders. Wrapping him up, Joshua Burnham, the defensive lineman. Burnham, a sophomore from Traverse City, Michigan. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, and Burnham's one of the guys that is replacing a starter, Botelho, who went out in the 3rd game of the year.
And he's out for the season.
Yeah, and they just keep reshuffling the deck.
3rd down and 7 for Army from the Black Knights 30. Ball between the hashes. Army moving left to right here in this third quarter. Udo, the deep back, Reed in motion. 2 receivers left. Daly fakes the pass, now runs it straight ahead, and he's pulled down. Had nowhere to go after Devin Houston got his hand on him. Looked like he was going to pick up maybe 5 or 10 yards. And Riley Mills, 6'5", 295, grad student, was able to just pull down Daly and hold him to a gain of 3. It's 4th and 4, and Army's going to go for it.
Looked like he got him on the inside of the shoulder pads, and he just tugged him down with that big left arm of his.
4th and 4 for Army from its own 33-yard line. 11 minutes left, third quarter. Black Knights trailing 35-7. A receiver to either side, short in motion behind the formation. Daly takes the snap straight ahead with it and runs down in a crowd well short of the first down. Needed 4, picked up only 2. And Notre Dame takes over on downs. Donovan Heinisch, one of them in there, along with Jalen Sneed. And Notre Dame stops Army on downs. The Fighting Irish will take over at the Army 35-yard line when we come back. 10:47 left, third quarter here at Yankee Stadium. Notre Dame 35, Army 7. You're listening to Black Knights College Football right here on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
Check, check, and check. That's the sound of me getting a jump start on my holiday list. But I can't take all the credit. Kohl's makes it too easy. I got my daughter a mini instant camera, my husband his favorite cologne, my sister Kookaburra by UGG slippers, and that's just the beginning. Then I got 20% off some of my other gifts. Yep, it doesn't get better than Kohl's. Select styles. Offer valid to November 23rd. Coupons do not apply to tech, Sephora at Kohl's, and Kookaburra by UGG. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
There's something for everybody to enjoy at West Point Family and MWR. Hit the links at our 18-hole golf course with breathtaking Hudson Valley scenery, or let us host your wedding at our top-class catering venue in the West Point Club. Morgan Farms Historic Stables offers large stalls, outdoor rings, and 3 different horse boarding options in a scenic and private location. Don't forget our very own Victor Constant Ski Lodge. Visit us at westpoint.armymwr.com and follow us on Facebook at West Point FMWR.
You're listening to the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
Army fans, ankle pain keeping you on the sidelines. Get back in the game. Stryker's Ankle Replacement Solutions can help restore your range of motion. Learn more at stryker.com/West Point. At Army West Point Athletics, brought to you by the GM Military Appreciation Program. Get a special offer on Chevrolet vehicles at GMMilitaryAppreciation.com. Rich DeMarco, Dean Darling, Joe Beckerly, Tony Marino back at Yankee Stadium, the Bronx, New York. Army trailing Notre Dame 35-7, 10:47 left third quarter. And after a stoppage on downs, Notre Dame takes over 1st and 10 at the Army 35.
Man, you just look around this stadium. There's a lot of people here. You know, we're covered because we're behind home plate, so to speak, and in the one end zone. But in the upper decks, Rich, look around. I mean, there's a lot of people in those upper decks, and that's usually where the lesser seats are sold. Yeah. There were guys on the train. I was coming down the train. They were watching the prices today go down, go up, and the average price I heard on the train was about $160 to try and scalp it.
And I think the increased importance of this game in the college football playoff and both team seasons, played a big part in that in the weeks leading up to this game. So Jadarian Price is the running back to the right of Riley Leonard to begin this drive. 1st and 10 for Notre Dame from the Army 35. Leonard out of the gun. Hand off to Price. End around. Double reverse. Back to Leonard. Throws near sideline of the pass. Caught inside the Army 20 and down at the 17. Mitchell Evans. 18-yard pickup. DiDomenico made the tackle, and Notre Dame back in the red zone.
Well, they showed a little trickery right there, and they came out. They know Army is down right now after getting a stop at their own 35-yard line. And I like the way Leonard's deliberate, the way he just steps into his throws. I mean, his receivers are wide open, obviously.
And the quintessential quarterback, really, that's helped out by the supporting cast. Yeah. And that time it was Thomas and Price collaborating on that double reverse back to Leonard. Here's the handoff to Price on 1st down. Off right tackle to the 16, maybe the 15-yard line. We'll give him 2 yards on the play. 2nd and 8 coming up. Elo Medozi made the tackle.
344 yards in total yards for Notre Dame before that play right there. 196 on the ground, 148. And this is a team, obviously, where Army's defense has only given up a little over 10 points a game.
2nd and 8 for Notre Dame from the Army 15-yard line. Out of the gun, Leonard. Army finally pressure. He throws it away, being pulled down to the turf by Jack Latour. We'll see if he's ruled down. Officials say incomplete pass, so Leonard ends up in Notre Dame with a break out of that. Latour finally broke through for pressure on Riley Leonard as Emil Wagner gave up that block to Jack Latour. It'll be 3rd down and 8 from the Army 15.
So DiDomenico tried to give it a go on the first series, which was only one play, and now he's out again, and Gavin Shields has replaced him as safety.
And he made the tackle on the Mitchell Evans catch that brought Notre Dame to the 17, and that was pretty much it for DiDomenico. So now 3rd and 8 for Notre Dame from the Army 15-yard line. 9:28 left here in the third quarter. Handoff straight ahead, and not much going on, and wrestled down to the turf at around the 14-yard line. And that was Aeneas Williams with about 2, maybe 3 down to the 12. Kept it between the hashes, and the field goal unit comes on for Notre Dame for the 2nd time tonight, and Mitch Jeter.
This is an area they got to get fixed, Rich, because they're now less than 50% when you take the collective unit of 3 different kickers, and Jeter, he's struggling. 3 of his last 7.
And this is right between the hashes. It'll be from 30 yards. Snap ball is down. Army got through. Medozi blocked it. Casey Larkin picked it up at the 5-yard line. Coming far sideline. 25 to the 30. Tripped up by the kicker. And that was Jeter making the tackle, but Army on the block. Field goal by Elo Medozi. And the return from Casey Larkin picks up a big break. It's Army football. And the stop of Notre Dame here on their 2nd drive of this third quarter.
And it's his 2nd block field goal of the year. He had one against Rice earlier this year. Those long, lengthy arms of his, knocking it down.
And the 3rd Mitch Jeter field goal block this year, too, and Notre Dame's only loss against Northern Illinois back in September. It'll be Army football, 1st and 10 from the Black Knights, 39-yard line when we come back. 8:37 left third quarter here at Yankee Stadium. Army trailing Notre Dame 35-7. You're listening to Black Knights College Football right here on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
You've seen the headlines, inflation, higher prices. Have you factored in higher prices in your retirement? Ooh, you hadn't thought of that, right? Have you looked at this? Do you need more information? I would suggest Ken Mahoney's book called 10 Things to Do Before You Retire. Each chapter builds on one another to put you and your loved ones in a better position. Now, the book sells at Amazon and Barnes & Noble, but just go to MahoneyGPS.com for more information. And Ken and Connor Mahoney, by the way, support Army football big time. Go to MahoneyGPS.com for more information about the book, 10 Things to Do Before You Retire. Or call them at 845-371-0101.
Step into Fishkill Flooring, your one-stop shop for all flooring needs. Fishkill Flooring is a local family-run business with carpet, luxury vinyl tile, and hardwood flooring available. With many styles of carpet and luxury vinyl tile in stock for quick installation. But that's not all. Fishkill Flooring can also handle carpet cleaning services and your property management needs. Visit Fishkill Flooring on Route 82 in Hopewell Junction today, behind Hopewell Easy Storage, or online at fishkillflooring.com. Don't delay. Transform your home today.
You're listening to the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
Army fans, the 125th meeting of the Army-Navy game presented by USAA will be played on December 14th at Northwest Stadium in Washington, D.C. Army and Navy salute USAA for serving as the presenting sponsor of the Army-Navy game. The academies also thank participating sponsors Chevrolet, The Exchange, Duke Cannon Supply Company, and Palantir, as well as the American Legion, our newest associate sponsor, for their support. Build, power, service, protect. Those are the things that describe EMCOR, a nationwide leader in all things infrastructure, from data centers to hospitals, airports to manufacturing plants. EMCOR, build, power, service, protect. 8:37 left third quarter. Army bidding to get back in this game with Notre Dame. Fighting Irish on top 35-7. Elo Mendoza blocking a 30-yard field goal attempt from Mitch Jeter. Casey Larkin returning it 34 yards out to the 39-yard line, and that's where Army will be back in business.
Yeah, good hop came up to Larkin, and as you said, the kicker had an angle to try and knock him down on the sideline. He had a chance maybe to pick up even more.
Rendina is the fullback on first down. Daly keeps it left side, 35-yard line, out to the 40 on the numbers, and then tripped up and tackled at around the 41-yard line. Tackled on the play by Donovan Heinisch. That's a gain of 4. That'll make it second down and 6.
Heinisch is a guy that played in 9 games. He was basically a backup last year. He only had 10 tackles, 4 solo, but he's playing so well right now. He's third on the team in quarterback sacks.
Second and 6 for the Black Knights from their own 41. Clock down to 8 minutes left in this third quarter. Army trailing 35-7. Trips to the right side. Tyrell Robinson in motion. Fake handoff to Robinson. Daly keeps it straight ahead. Picks up a couple and muscles his way out near the 43, 44-yard line. We'll give him 2 on the play. That'll bring up a 3rd and 4.
Daly's updated numbers. He's already rushed the ball 21 times for 77 yards, a long of 19. Now they just updated it. Yeah, that's the number. 3.8 is his average.
3rd and 4 for Army from the Black Knights 43. Reynolds, the receiver, out to the right side. Udo is the deep back. 2 slots in on the play, Stewart and Robinson. Fake handoff up the middle. Pitch Tyrell Robinson, near side 45-yard line. Has the first down as he's run down from behind by Xavier Watts. So needed 4, picked up 5. And Army able to move the chains out near midfield. 1st and 10 from the Army 48.
Notre Dame bit down pretty hard on the fake give to Udo and then get it out. That play wasn't working earlier in the ball game. This time, positive yards for a first.
And Kaiser was close by as well. He's been everywhere. Really noteworthy, the lateral range of Jack Kaiser, the senior, who's been at Notre Dame seemingly forever. Army moves the chains. 1st and 10 for the Black Knights from their own 48-yard line. 1 receiver left, pistol formation, fake handoff to Udo. Daly going to run right with it. Hit at the 50-yard line, had his foot pulled and able to stay on his feet and go down at about the Notre Dame 48-yard line. R.J. Oben made the tackle. And Oben hit him at about the 50. Daly looked a little slower on that run, Dean. Looked like he was favoring that left ankle.
He's taken some whacks, just as the other quarterback has throughout the game, Leonard. But he was trying to get outside, and he was a little hesitant.
6 minutes left, third quarter. Army 2nd and 7 from the Notre Dame 49. Black Knights trailing 35-7. 2 receivers left. Udo, the deep back. Robinson, the slot right. Fake handoff. Daly pitches. Robinson behind him, and he's going to be hit for a loss. Asbury caught Robinson, who had to turn around to field the pitch. And that's a loss back to the 44 of the Black Knights. It'll be 3rd down and 13.
Yeah, the pitch was a lofty one behind him. Lucky enough, he was able to gather it with one arm, the right arm, cradle it, but still took a measurable loss.
So 3rd and 13. You wonder how many yards Army would need for Jeff Monken to be comfortable going for it. 3rd and 13 for Army. Ball spotted just inside the Black Knights' 45-yard line. A receiver to either side, one back in the backfield. Daly straight back to throw, under some pressure, and throws it away. Caught by Reynolds on the sideline near the first down. That had us fooled, as Daly looked like he was just trying to get rid of the football, and then flashing up the sideline was Casey Reynolds, able to make the catch and stumble short of the first down. It'll be 4th down, and it looks like about 1, and Army's going to keep the offense back on the field at the Notre Dame 47-yard line.
Casey Reynolds, 5-game catch streak now, and he made a wonderful catch off a brilliant play by Daly. Now you got to use Daly's legs here to get a first.
So 4th and 2 from the Notre Dame 44. Out of the shotgun, Daly runs left, looking to turn the corner, is hit and spun down just short. It appears he didn't get it, and he did not. Notre Dame football. R.J. Oben had the stop. Oben, 6'3", 265. Dean, he's got some movement. He's got some speed for a defensive lineman. Makes the 4th down stop. Notre Dame takes over on downs with 4 minutes and 18 seconds left in the third quarter, and the Fighting Irish leading the Black Knights 35-7. We'll have more coming up from Yankee Stadium in just a moment. You're listening to Black Knights College Football right here on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
What exactly does MCOR do? For healthcare facilities, we help keep patients and staff safe and comfortable. For data centers, we help the digital economy flow more reliably. For office buildings, we help make work environments secure, efficient, and compliant. In other words, for businesses and industries of every type, at MCOR, we build, power, service, and protect.
Life is full of adventures.
Do you take this man to be your husband?
I do. Welcome home.
We did it. He has your eyes.
He's perfect.
Make the most of them all with PenFed checking and savings accounts. Learn more at PenFed.org. Federally insured by NCAA. To receive any advertised product, you must become a member of PenFed Credit Union.
You're listening to the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
Tony Marino back with you. Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Notre Dame with a 35-7 lead over Army. 4 minutes, 18 seconds to go. Third quarter. Moments ago, Notre Dame turned Army over on downs. One thing of note with this game, and for those in the tri-state area, you'll know that there has been a ton of rain, at least the past 24 hours. There hadn't been much before that. This field itself, keep in mind, they haven't played, hasn't been much here since in about almost a month ago now, in fact, at least 3 weeks ago, that the World Series was played here on this field. As far as it being a grass field, I can tell you this, based on the rain that's there, it is a little damp here. Now, how much has it impacted this game? It's a 35-7. What I can tell you is it is a factor. It may not explain, or maybe it does a little on this field anyway, Notre Dame's field goal kicking woes, although they've been on every field this year. They've had those woes. But I did have a chance to talk to Zach Granati, Army's field place kicker, moments ago, and he's actually moved his net here on the sideline out more towards left field. Usually it's right next to the sideline. He said, I take 3 from each spot, and then I can't kick on that spot anymore because the ground is so worn. So what he's saying is it's very loose. During breaks, there's actually Yankee Stadium field staff that will come out on the field and pick up the mud chunks that is ripped up from the players' cleats that have taken place during that last play. Send it back up to Rich and Dean.
And New York City Football Club, Major League Soccer team plays here, and turf is up and down during the baseball season, and then the permanent turf comes down when the baseball season's over, which was much later than usual, with the Yankees winning the American League pennant and advancing to the World Series. 1st and 10 for Notre Dame after stopping Army on 4th down, and here's a handoff coming left from the Notre Dame 43-yard line, a pickup of about 2 out to the 45-yard line, and a new player in the game at quarterback for Notre Dame. That's Steve Angeli, a sophomore from Westfield, New Jersey, just over the bridge. Prepped at Bergen Catholic High School, and an injured Army player. That looks to be the Black Knights' standout sophomore nose guard, Cody Harris Miller. So the injuries for Army, and Dean, that's always a concern when you play a game at this level against this type of opponent. Yep. DiDomenico out in the first half, came back briefly in the third quarter, and now Cody Harris Miller, already a weakened Army defensive line with Kyle Lewis out tonight. Harris Miller being looked at around the 45-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Notre Dame from their own 45 when we come back. 4:07 left, third quarter. Notre Dame leading Army 35-7. You're listening to Black Knights College Football right here on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
Mercedes-Benz of Orange County has created an EQ electric vehicle program so generous, we don't think we can fit it all in 30 seconds, but here it goes. Free home installation of a level 2 charger, 2 free years of nationwide charging, 2 free years of prepaid maintenance, free road hazard tire protection, free key remote replacement, free dent and ding protection. We call it EV Edge. You can call it a gift. Go to benzilbush.com or call 845-201-8525. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Hi, this is Jeff Feldman of Feldman, Kleidman, Collins & Sape. Getting hurt in an accident can be devastating. The pain a victim experiences isn't just physical, it can be financial and emotional as well, especially if you can't care for your child. Getting the best possible result doesn't just impact one life, it impacts the lives of everyone you care about as well. If you've been injured in an accident, call 845-897-5199 for a free consultation, or visit us at fkcs.law.
You're listening to the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
Army fans, even though you can't be at the game, you can still enhance your game day experience from home with our digital program featuring up-to-date matchup comparisons, stats, rosters, and more. Check out GoArmyWestPoint.com and our social media channels to access this weekend's program. And Army football brought to you by FW Webb, where the pros go for plumbing, heating, HVAC, refrigeration, pipe, valves, fittings, and more. Visit FWWebb.com for a location near you. Rich DeMarco, Dean Darling, Joe Beckerly, and Tony Marino back at Yankee Stadium. Cody Harris Miller, the injured Army player, off the field, putting some pressure on his injured leg. It'll be 2nd and 8 for Notre Dame from the Fighting Irish 45. Jadarian Price had the 2-yard gain on first down. Steve Angeli, the sophomore quarterback from Westfield, New Jersey, in the ball game for the Fighting Irish. He'll work out of the shotgun here on 2nd and 8 with Price in motion out to the right side. Angeli looking left, fires over the middle, and the pass caught across midfield. And that was Faison, who had the touchdown catch earlier, down to the Army 43. Good enough for a first down as he slipped to the turf.
Cody Whitaker playing at the nose tackle after Cody Harris was hurt.
And it was Gavin Shields who took him down. 1st and 10 for Notre Dame at the Army 43-yard line. Angeli out of the gun, fakes the handoff, fires near side, and the pass caught on the numbers at the 40, and then taken down is Jaden Harrison at the Army 37. So that's a 6-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
So Angeli, and obviously Freeman knows he's a kid from this coast, right? He's from Westfield, New Jersey. He wants to get him some time. This is his 8th appearance of the year. He might be the heir apparent, as Leonard is one and done here with the Notre Dame program. He's looked pretty sharp so far.
He started in the Sun Bowl last year when Sam Hartman had opted out and threw 3 touchdowns in the win over Oregon State. And here on second down hit as he throws near side. Pass caught by Faison out of bounds. Good enough for a first down at the Army 32-yard line.
Yeah, Rich, when you look down their roster and you get into their bios, you're not surprised to see 4-star recruits, 3-star. There are some 5-star recruits, too. I mean, that's the top echelon.
And Angeli this year, 2 touchdowns at Purdue. Threw for a touchdown against Florida State. 1st and 10 for Notre Dame from the Army 32. 2:20 left in the third quarter. Handoff, right side, cutting back inside the 30-yard line, and Dre Miller is going to make the tackle.
Dre Miller getting extra time tonight because of the injury, as you mentioned, Rich, a few times. Kyle Lewis is out, and Sophia had started the ball game, but he didn't play much at all. And now Dre Miller, he's one of the veterans on the team.
And Jadarian Price, the running back, in on this drive. We haven't seen Keidron Young, the freshman. He saw a lot of time against Navy in the game last month against the midshipmen. 2nd and 7, play fake, Angeli looking, heaves it near side, jumping catch made at the 12-yard line, and then taken out of bounds is Jordan Faison. Another first down as Faison was working on the Army secondary. Madison came over, and it was also Josiah Banks to make the play. Out of bounds at the 10-yard line. It's 1st and goal for the Fighting Irish.
Yeah, Faison's having himself a game, and he had the first touchdown of the ball game. And Army's playing so much of a cushion on their corners that it's easy pickings for Angeli and company.
And that's worked for Army over the first 9 games of this season, keeping things in front of them. Just a different calculus here tonight. 1st and goal for the Fighting Irish from the Army 10. Play fake, Angeli looking, plenty of time. Hoisting corner of the end zone, overthrown. And that was intended for Cooper Flanagan, the sophomore tight end from Pleasant Hill, California.
Yeah, Flanagan had a touchdown catch just a week ago. He's a big target. He's 6'6", 257. 4 catches before tonight, Rich. 2 of those for touchdowns.
And now a substitution along the defensive line for Army. Tuioti comes back in the game. Faison and Harrison lined up to the right side here on 2nd and goal for Notre Dame from the Army 10-yard line. 1 receiver left. Harrison in motion right to left. Angeli out of the shotgun. Handoff straight ahead, and it's Price bouncing off one tackler to the 5, runs left and takes it in for the touchdown. Jadarian Price would not be denied. Looked like he was taken down near the line of scrimmage. Was able to emerge from the pile, bounce it out to the left side, and take it in from 10 yards. And Notre Dame back on the scoreboard with 45 seconds left in this third quarter.
So after Army was stopped consecutive times on turnovers on downs, Notre Dame makes him pay this time. And again, Price just showing how good a running back he is after being stopped well short of the goal line, bounces off and gets into that left corner.
And Sophia had a shot at him in that pile, and then Winokur, and it was Josiah Banks chasing him down. On for the extra point is Jeter, and the kick is up and through. So Notre Dame puts 7 more on the scoreboard, 42-7. The Fighting Irish lead the Black Knights with 45 seconds left in this third quarter. Marcus Freeman called this game Notre Dame versus Navy 2.0. Army and Navy do many different things offensively, and I think it's often really grouped together as a lot of the things they do out of running the football. Notre Dame tonight, it hasn't been the 6 turnovers like Navy. Notre Dame really is just ground and pounded this football against Army, and the Black Knights just have not been able to sustain the drives they need to take time off the clock and shorten the game.
Well, the reason they beat a North Texas prolific offense because they had the ball for 41 minutes, and that's not the case tonight. They can't get first downs. They can't go back-to-back with first downs for the most part, and It's just a situation where they're just being overrun right now by Notre Dame.
Jadarian Price now 53 yards on the night and 2 touchdowns. Here's the kickoff, and it comes down to Benson fielding it on the near numbers at the 5-yard line. And trying to cross field, hit at the 10-yard line, and then taken down. Finishing off the tackle was Kennedy Urlacher. If you recognize that last name, the son of Pro Football Hall of Famer Brian Urlacher. And Army took a chance returning the kickoff, and they'll take over 1st and 10 inside their own 10-yard line, ball at the 9. Bryson Daly remaining in the game. 37 seconds left in the third quarter, and now really need to look at some of these Army skill position guys, how long they might stay in this game. Samari Howard in at the right slot back. Miles Stewart in motion, fake handoff Rendina, pitch Samari Howard left side 10-yard line, slips through a defender out to the 15 where he's brought down, stays in bounds. Clock runs. Tui Alamaka making the tackle, quickly down to Tony.
Hey guys, just looking at the Army sideline and the defense, I did notice Donovan Platt came off the field a little howled. Haven't poked over near the medical tent, but I can tell you that Dre Miller was in there before that, so got to keep an eye on some guys getting nicked up.
That's a 7-yard gain on first down for Samari Howard. Diamond formation, Daly out of the gun here on 2nd and 3 for Army from its own 16. Fake handoff up the middle, pitch near side. Samari Howard cuts back, has the first down, 20-yard line, and then brought down in a pile near the 24-yard line. Kaiser again right in the middle of things, and that'll bring us to the end of the third quarter of play. It's been all Notre Dame tonight in this Shamrock Series matchup at Yankee Stadium. The number 6 Fighting Irish leading the number 19 Army Black Knights 42-7. We'll have the fourth quarter coming up for you in just a moment. You're listening to Black Knights College Football right here on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
Whether protecting our country or battling on the gridiron, the best defense requires power, precision, and the ability to outperform the opponent. At Rolls-Royce, we are proud to provide world-class American-made power solutions in support of our service members. Over land, at sea, and through the air, Rolls-Royce engines power our U.S. military to achieve mission success.
Army West Point Athletics and the United States Military Academy would like to recognize its Team Army partners. Industry leaders such as Stryker, USAA, Coca-Cola, MCOR, The Exchange, and CBS Sports Network, whose values and beliefs are in line with those of the Academy. Because of the generosity of Team Army members, cadet athletes are ensured of a tremendous athletic experience.
You're listening to the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
Joe Beckerly back at Yankee Stadium. Fourth quarter about to get underway. Black Knights of Army trailing number 6 Notre Dame 42-7. Let's take a look at some scores of other games going around the country. The scoreboard report is brought to you by The Exchange, and we're actually going to look at the American Athletic Conference from this week. UAB at home all over Rice today, 40-14. That score is a final. Also a final, Charlotte beating Florida Atlantic 39-27. It was East Carolina 40, North Texas 28. So North Texas drops another one, 3 or 4 in a row for them. South Florida 63 points on Tulsa, 63-30 the final. On Friday it was UTSA beating Temple 51-27. Army will play UTSA in a week from now at Yankee Stadium, the regular season finale for the Black Knights, and Navy was off this week. That's the scoreboard report brought to you by The Exchange. Back to Rich Dinatoni for the call of the fourth quarter.
And I'll give you one more score. 9 minutes left in the game in Laramie, Wyoming, and 2-8 Wyoming leading number 12 Boise State 13-10. And that game could have some significance in regards to the Group of 5 representative for the college football playoff. Again, this hasn't been Army's night with 15 minutes left in the game, trailing 42-7, but a lot of the goals Army had going into tonight could still be alive or will be alive after tonight, and depending on some other outcomes, maybe a better chance than not. Welcome to the fourth quarter, brought to you by GM Military Appreciation. Get a special offer on Chevrolet vehicles at gmmilitaryappreciation.com. And Build, Power, Service, Protect. Those are the things that describe EMCOR, a nationwide leader in all things infrastructure, from data centers to hospitals, airports to manufacturing plants. EMCOR, Build, Power, Service, Protect.
Yeah, you just look around on the video board here, the Notre Dame fans, and a lot of them can't get out Midwest, so they really cherish having the game here in the East. No, twice now in the East.
The
right?
Subway alumni.
Yeah, very good point. And you know what? They're a real happy group right now, because their team came in number 6, right, in the college football poll, and they are just thirsting to try and get a game and maybe get a home game.
1st and 10 for Army at its own 24. Play fake. Daly straight back to throw. Bryson looking, heaves it far side. Pass caught by Noah Short across the 30-yard line, but held down short of a first down. Adon Schuler made the tackle. That's a gain of 9. That'll bring up second down. We'll call it 1 for the Black Knights from their own 33.
So now Daly's 3 for 4 in the ballgame. Only 13 yards, but he's completed against 75%. He's had a good year throwing the ball. He had the 1 interception against Northern Texas a couple weeks ago, but overall he has been the man, and he's also rushed the ball effectively tonight. He is up to 77 yards.
Second down, we'll call it 1 for Army from its own 33. Daly off right tackle, has the first down, pushing across the 35-yard line and out near the 37.
Rich, I liked that interview you had with him before the game, and this is an astute young man. He's talking about the history of the game, the leaders that have come out of West Point, not just the Heisman leaders, but the obviously leaders of the military. And, he takes this very serious.
And really realizes, and the success Army's had this year, and I like to say, it gives the opportunity for the stories of this team to be told. And Bryson's been a big one so far this year. Samari Howard in motion behind the formation, out of the pistol, play fake. Daly back to throw on 1st and 10, rolling to his right, under pressure, then pushed forward near the line of scrimmage. There was pressure coming, and it appeared Osbury just kind of pushed him along with Tui Alamaka.
I mean, guys were blocking for him, but they're looking for Reynolds downfield. Reynolds held the 1 catch in the ball game, and he was just covered, so he had to eat the ball and take it for a short.
It was just an odd play. It was just kind of pushed as he was stumbling down. 2nd and 10 for Army from its own 38. Ball on the right hash. A receiver to either side. Udo the deep back. Samari Howard the slot left. Bryson waiting. Play fake. Straight back to throw. Bryson looking. Heaves it deep down the field, and the pass intercepted and dropped in the hands, and that was Gray who had it. And Christian Gray nearly had his 2nd interception of the season. It was Casey Reynolds who the pass was intended for. And Christian Gray, for a moment, was about to bring it into his chest and just could not.
Christian Gray, a sophomore out of St. Louis. They like to recruit that Missouri-St. Louis area. And he missed the Louisville game, another 4-star recruit, all-state in Missouri back then. He had a great opportunity to haul one in.
Right in Big Ten country, Notre Dame's wheelhouse of its recruiting. 3rd down and 9 for Army from its own 38. Daly now is going to throw deep down the left side, coming back, and it's Short, could not make the catch. Osbury was defending, and Short came back at the Notre Dame 35 and nearly was able to cradle the football, but could not hold on. It'll be 4th down and 10.
Good sight adjustment by Short to see that. So the DB's got his back turned to the play, and then he sees it's going to be underthrown. He tries to come back, and looking now at Daly, he knew he had one right there.
Reminds me of the touchdown catch at UTSA last year for Noah Short when he came back for the football. 4th and 10. Army's going to go forward here with 12:42 left in the game, and the Black Knights trailing 42-7. 4th and 10 for Army from its own 38-yard line. Daly back to throw, under pressure. Hit as he throws, and the pass intercepted just across midfield. And they say incomplete, which is actually better for Notre Dame than an interception. And Leonard Moore was the one who nearly picked it off. Penalty flag
Personal
back
foul,
in the backfield.
Roughing the passer, defense, number 24. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Jack Kaiser, who we've talked about a lot tonight. Daly was hit as he threw that football, but roughing the passer has become a very subjective penalty call, and Army will pick up a first down with the ball moving into Notre Dame territory. Let's go down to Tony Marino.
And Rich, you mentioned how that's kind of become a call here prevalent in college football, and what they called there, you could hear the Army coaches screaming, was he was driven into the ground. He left his feet and drove Daly into the ground, and that drew the flag.
Absolutely, and that will be called even if it looks like, and we said on the air, hit as he throws, you'd think the player arrived with the throw, but that aftermath, Tony astutely pointing out. 1st and 10 for Army with the ball now at the Notre Dame 47-yard line from the right hash. Daly going to run left with it to the long side of the field. Cuts back at the 45 and then takes it near the 40-yard line. Brought down at the 41. Tackled on the play by Osbury. He's had a very active night along with Kaiser. Seems like we could be saying those names on repeat, Dean, this entire game.
Yeah, Osbury had 4 early tackles in the ball game and kind of set the standard for Notre Dame's defense. And Kaiser, he's just a menace out there, even though he got the personal foul. But he is the heart and soul of this defense.
3 minutes gone by, fourth quarter. Army trailing 42-7. It'll be 2nd and 4 for the Black Knights from the Notre Dame 41-yard line. Daly waiting. Robinson in motion behind the formation. Pitch to Robinson. He's going to throw it. Heaves it deep down the left side for Daly. Incomplete. There were 3 Notre Dame defenders in the vicinity, including Jalen Sneed and Jack Kaiser, who nearly came up with an interception. So a little trickery by Army. And how about the arm on Tyrell Robinson? He launched that about 35 yards downfield.
I like that wrinkle, you know.
Across field.
Yeah, he threw it across the field. But, I mean, I like that. They at least show your next few opponents that you have that in your arsenal.
And Army's going to have to take positives from this game tonight because it doesn't let up with UTSA coming to Yankee Stadium for Senior Day a week from today. 3rd and 5 for Army from the Notre Dame 41, and a handoff. Udo left side cuts back inside the 40 and down at the 39. Tui Alamaka making the tackle. It'll be 4th, and we'll call it 2. Army, of course, is going to go for it here with 11:25 left in the fourth quarter. Clock running. Black Knights trailing 42-7.
The Ridge, they've been stopped on their last couple 4th down tries, but this is manageable. 4th down and 2.
Daly out of the shotgun. Diamond formation for Army with 2 receivers to the far side of the field. To the right. Udo, the deep back in the diamond. Now Daly coming up on the center. Play clock down to 1 and has to use a timeout. And Army looked like maybe changing the play there at the line of scrimmage. Army takes its first time out of half number 2. We'll take one as well. 10:59 left in the ball game. Army trailing Notre Dame 42-7. We'll have more coming up in just a moment. You're listening to Black Knights College Football right here on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
You're listening to the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
The Army A Club is dedicated to supporting the United States Military Academy's overall mission and the mission of Army West Point Athletics by generating financial support for the purpose of providing an extraordinary Division I athletic experience that develops leaders of character committed to the values of duty, honor, country. By supporting the Army A Club, you ensure that more than 1,000 cadet athletes have the opportunities and means necessary to accomplish all that they can in their relentless pursuit of excellence as scholars, athletes, and leaders. Visit ArmyAClub.com or call 845-938-2322. Rich DeMarco, Dean Darling, Joe Beckerly, and Tony Marino back at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Army trailing Notre Dame 42-7. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification across the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
920 WGHQ Kingston, 1260 WBNR Beacon, and 1420 WLNA Peekskill. This is the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
So it'll be 4th down and 2 for Army. The Black Knights taking a timeout. 4th and 2 for the Black Knights from the Notre Dame 39 with 10:59 left in this fourth quarter. And Army trailing 42-7. Out of the shotgun, Daly fakes the handoff to Udo, runs left with it, nowhere to go, and is brought down in the backfield. There was a host of blue jerseys taking him down. Jack Kaiser leading the charge, and Notre Dame stops Army on downs and will take over on the Notre Dame 41-yard line.
Tried to get the ball to the outside. Nobody was there to block for him. Reed whiffed on one, and as you said, there was about 5 gold helmets to that ball.
And Notre Dame is going to break the huddle, and Shelley still in at quarterback for the Fighting Irish.
He's 4 for 5, 41 yards.
First and 10 for Notre Dame from its own 42. Here's the handoff. Aeneas Williams straight ahead, breaking tackles at midfield, and now he's going to be off to the races. Near side 25-yard line to the 20, giving chase. Army can't get to him, and it's a touchdown of 58 yards for Aeneas Williams, the true freshman. His second scoring run of the 2024 season, and Notre Dame puts 6 more points on the board with 10 minutes and 40 seconds left in the ballgame.
Yeah, once he got to the second level, he just took off. I mean, he's got some speed. These 3 running backs are excellent. Simple handoff. It was going to go off tackle, but then he swerved and he brought it back to the middle of the line and then took off.
Jabril Williams had really the last chance for Army, but fell short inside the 10-yard line. And Jeter on to attempt the extra point. Snap ball is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. 49-7, Notre Dame on top with 10 minutes and 40 seconds left in the ball game. We'll have more from Yankee Stadium coming up in just a moment, right here on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
This is Bill Fioravanti of the Orange County IDA. Here's a story of how the IDA helped a very special sports field find a home. When New York State announced the closure of a correctional facility in Warwick, New York, our IDA refused to let it become a vacant eyesore. Instead, we used funds collected from employers that received IDA incentives to repurpose the campus into a corporate park and recreational facility. The new Warwick Valley Technology and Corporate Park is now the home of beautiful people, a special adaptive sports field for local children with disabilities, and several other quality employers. We are the Orange County IDA, building a better future for you.
You've seen the headlines, inflation, higher prices. Have you factored in higher prices in your retirement? Ooh, you hadn't thought of that, right? Have you looked at this? Do you need more information? I would suggest Ken Mahoney's book called 10 Things to Do Before You Retire. Each chapter builds on one another to put you and your loved ones in a better position. Now, the book sells at Amazon and Barnes & Noble, but just go to MahoneyGPS.com for more information. And Ken and Connor Mahoney, by the way, support Army football big time. Go to MahoneyGPS.com for more information about the book, 10 Things to Do Before You Retire. Or call them at 845-371-0101.
You're listening to the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
Army fans, ankle pain keeping you on the sidelines. Get back in the game. Stryker's Ankle Replacement Solutions can help restore your range of motion. Learn more at Stryker.com/West Point. This has been Notre Dame's night. Rich DeMarco, Dean Darling, Joe Beckerly and Tony Marino back at Yankee Stadium. The number 6 Fighting Irish leading number 19 Army 49-7. The latest touchdown run. Aeneas Williams, the true freshman. And he's just getting warm too this season. Williams last week had 23 yards, scored a touchdown earlier this year against Stanford, and along with Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price has gotten it going here tonight. And Notre Dame, Dean, they've cycled these running backs seemingly by possession, giving them opportunities. Almost a full possession each when in and out of the game.
And it's unbelievable to have this kind of depth as you head into the last part of your regular season. And they go to USC next week and want to beat Southern Cal out there. And remember, they don't play in a championship game because of their status, their independent status. So, they have to sit then and wait and have to find out, are they going to make the college football playoffs? Obviously, you think they're going to make it. Do they get a home game, though?
And the thing is, they can't pick up a bye because those go to conference champions. So part of this agreement with the 12-team college football playoff is that the highest Notre Dame could be seeded is number 5. That's even if they ascend to number 1 in the rankings. The highest seed they could pick up is 5. And as you mentioned, Dean, 5 through 8 have first-round home games on December 20th and 21st. And that's what Notre Dame is eyeing. And Goins, the 30-year-old Army veteran, handling kickoffs here tonight. And here's the boot, straight down the middle, and it's fielded by Benson, called for a late fair catch, and he fields it at the 5-yard line. And Army will take over 1st and 10 at its own 25.
I saw Notre Dame warming some guys up over on the side. You wonder if they're going to start taking out their defensive starters and giving backups some opportunities here.
Yeah, it's interesting. So much of this game and the marketing and the promotion centered around the 100th anniversary of the Army-Notre Dame game and the 4 horsemen. I'll tell you, these running backs have been the 3 horsemen tonight. Love, Williams, and Price.
And then you throw in Leonard, right? The quarterback.
So your new 4 horsemen for Notre Dame. Bryson Daly remaining in the game at quarterback for Army. 1st and 10 for the Black Knights from their own 25. Fake handoff. Pitch comes near side. Samari Howard runs into his own blocker, Miles Stewart, and then able to meander his way near the 26-yard line. And brought down in a group of defensive linemen. Riley Mills, Armel Mukum among them.
Good to see Samari Howard getting some time. Temple, Texas, over 100 yards this year, 4th on the team. His average carry is over 5 yards, so good to get into this type of arena.
2nd down. We'll call it 9 for Army from the Black Knights 26. Direct snap to Daly, runs straight ahead, trying to bounce off a defender, and then falls back. Actually ran into Brady Small and lost his footing, trying to pick up some yards to bounce off his center. The tackle ends up being made by Mills, who was able to push through. And it'll be 3rd down. We'll call it 7 for Army from the Black Knights 28. Now 9:30 left in the 4th quarter, and Notre Dame leading 49-7. One receiver out to the right side, Rendina Ledipak. And now Stewart comes in motion from that receiver position. 2 slots, including Howard. Straight back to throw, now a quarterback run. Daly, 30-yard line, out to the 35, has the 1st down and spun down at the 41-yard line. So Army able to pick up the 1st down. Bryce Young makes the tackle.
And that was his 30th carry of the ball game. And Richie's up to 87 yards. So he's only 13 yards away from his 8th consecutive 100-yard day. But this, by far, has been the hardest yards he's earned this year.
And would love to see him get that 100 yards, not at the expense of an injury or anything. So it's 1st and 10 for Army from the Black Knights 36. 8:30 left in the ball game. Howard in motion left to right. Daly keeps it, runs right, bounces it to the outside, cuts back, is hit it around the 37, 38-yard line, stays in bounds. It'll be 2nd down and about 7
I like what you were talking about, Rich, and all the national acclaim he's gotten, but I thought the one key point was about Abernathy, Texas. It doesn't have a stoplight where he came from, as it's a few miles from Lubbock, Texas, and his dad got interviewed, and the whole family is well known now in the Daly household.
Kobe Onyuke made the tackle on that first down play. The Daly name's so well known, we were getting into the North Texas Stadium. Eric Morris's father, who was helping out at the gate, said he knew the Dalys. Play fake, Bryson back to throw, fires near side. It's Samari Howard, stutter step at the 40-yard line, stumbles his way to the 42. And he ends up getting tackled on the play by Sean Sevillano. And it'll be 3rd down and 4 for Army with 7:20 left in the ball game, and the Black Knights trailing 49-7.
Daly was looking downfield as his first option. It wasn't there, so that's why he dumped it off on a swing.
3rd and 4, Daly under center, 2 receivers right. Howard a slot to the left. Udo with the deep back. Howard in motion now behind the formation. Fake handoff to Udo. Bryson keeps at 45-yard line to the 50 into Notre Dame territory, and Bryson Daly has a 100-yard gain and an Army first down in Fighting Irish territory at the 44-yard line. Carson Hobbs made the tackle, and Army with 6:45 to go, bidding to put another scoring march together.
Yeah, real nifty move at the second level to cut through. So 8 consecutive games over 100 yards. In those previous 7, he's been averaging 140.5 yards rushing.
1st and 10 for the Black Knights from the Notre Dame 43. Reynolds, the receiver, out to the right side. Daly hands off Udo straight ahead. Down to the 40-yard line. Spins forward to the Notre Dame 38. And a number of the depth of the Notre Dame defensive line out there on the field, along with the linebackers, Tui Alamaka, as well as Logan Thomas.
You know, with Daly hitting 8 times 100 yards, he's tied Mike Mayweather for the single-season record of going over the century mark that many times.
It's amazing when you hear the Mayweather comparisons with Daly's prodigious rushing numbers this season. 2nd and 5, handoff Udo straight ahead, pushing the pile, and then driven back. Gets 1, maybe 2 yards. Mookum and Jerry Rulo make the stop.
I'll tell you what, Udo came in and he was averaging 95 yards a game. He's had some spectacular games. That Air Force game when Daly was out, he was unbelievable. And you know, tonight he's met his match against a very stout defense.
But Army is going to leave this game and still have their goals straight out in front of them. Daly, Udo, all these Black Knights going to be needed 1 week from today against UTSA. 3rd and 3 from the Notre Dame 37. Daly keeps it, runs left, has the first down near the sideline, slides down near the 30-yard line. And that's Army moving the chains. Hurleman making the stop.
Yeah, it's remarkable how many times Daly carries the ball. I mean, just lately, against North Texas 2 weeks ago, 36 times. He was out for the Air Force game, but then he had 31 carries against East Carolina, and he had himself a day. 5 touchdown runs in that game and threw another one.
1st and 10 for Army from the Notre Dame 30. Daly, reverse pivot, then pitches near side. This is Samari Howard, cuts back at the 25, and then momentum carrying near the 20-yard line and close to a first down. That'll take us under 4 minutes left in the game, and that was a little bit of misdirection by Daly. Pivoting out.
You look back at Samari Howard during his high school days, he amassed over 4,000 yards in rushing. He was named 3rd team All-State, and that's pretty good. The state of Texas and out of Temple, Texas. So he is a back of the future for them as well, being just a youngster, a sophomore.
And Mookum, a freshman from Canada, getting a lot of run on the defensive line for Notre Dame here. 2nd and 1 for the Black Knights. Play fake, Daly to throw, lost it downfield, intercepted, then dropped at the goal line. Sure was the closest Army receiver, but that one thrown right 2. Ben Minnick, the backup safety, and had his hands on it, then sure took him down, but Minnick would have loved to have held on to that one.
Yeah, that's 2 drops now by their DBs on would-be interceptions. Not a good throw by Daly. He just kind of threw it over the middle, hoping his shirt could go up and get it.
3rd and 1 for Army from the Notre Dame 21. 3:24 left in the game. Army trailing 49-7. Daly keeps it, runs left, has the first down, 15-yard line, still on his feet, then stumbles near the 11-yard line. Tackled on the play by Talich, the safety. It'll be 1st and 10 for Army from the Notre Dame 11. So Army could pick up a first down here in the closing minutes of this game. Down to 2:55 left in the ball game, the clock running, and Notre Dame leading Army 49-7. Bryson under center, 2 receivers out to the right side. Udo the deep back, Samari Howard the slot to the left. Howard in motion behind the formation. Daly fakes the handoff, then keeps it. Going to try to bounce to the outside, but then is run down on the outside. And making the tackle, it was Hurleman nearby.
Hey, Hurleman's the guy who came from Hamilton, New York. He played at Colgate for a few years, but then as a graduate year, he came here to be their punt returner and also backup safety.
2nd down and 9 for Army from the Notre Dame 10-yard line. Army looking to get in the end zone here with 2 minutes left in the game, and the clock runs down to 2 minutes, and that's the 2-minute timeout. And we will take a break. Army will face a 2nd and 9 from the Notre Dame 10, trailing 49-7. We'll be back in just a moment. You're listening to Black Knights College Football right here on the Army Sports Network from Learfield.
To those dedicated to defending our country, we recognize and appreciate your service. The GM Military Appreciation Program is the official automotive sponsor of Army West Point Athletics, and we're proud to honor all active U.S. military members, veterans, and retirees with a special offer on eligible new Chevrolet vehicles. It's our way of showing we have your back. Visit gmmilitaryappreciation.com to learn more.
Check, check, and check. That's the sound of me getting a jump start on my holiday list. But I can't take all the credit. Kohl's makes it too easy. I got my daughter a mini instant camera, my husband his favorite cologne, my sister Kookaburra by UGG slippers, and that's just the beginning. Then I got 20% off some of my other gifts. Yep, it doesn't get better than Kohl's. Select styles. Offer valid through November 23rd. Coupons do not apply to Tech, Sephora at Kohl's, and Kookaburra by UGG. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
You're listening to the Army Black Knights Football Radio Network on 92.5 FM in Kingston, 96.5 FM in Beacon, and 94.3 FM in Peekskill.
Rich DeMarco, Dean Darling, Joe Beckerly, Tony Marino back at Yankee Stadium. 2-minute timeout here in this 4th quarter. Number 6, Notre Dame leading number 19, Army, 49-7. Black Knights looking to get in the end zone here late in the game. They'll have a 2nd and 9 from the Notre Dame 10. But, Dean, just projecting out, Army is going to fall in the college football playoff standings. Will most likely and almost certainly fall behind Tulane. So that Tuesday poll that comes out on the 26th, very, very important, because if Army and Tulane are tied atop the American Athletic Conference, the team that is higher in that poll would host the American Athletic Conference championship game.
On December 6th.
So provided Tulane is ahead of Army in that poll, Army would need a Tulane loss to Memphis and a victory over UTSA in order to host the game. Wins by Army and Tulane or 2 losses by Army and Tulane, Black Knights would be headed down to the Big Easy. Tough place to play on that Friday night, December 6th.
Yep. So Tulane has Memphis on Thanksgiving night. And Memphis was one of the favorites. They haven't had the greatest of years, but they had a really good quarterback. And I got a feeling Memphis is going to play for a lot of pride in that game. They'll be going on to a bowl, but I think they're going to want to get after Tulane.
Army will know what it needs in that game against UTSA. out of the 2-minute timeout. 2nd and 9 for Army at the Notre Dame 10-yard line. Trips to the left, one receiver right, empty backfield. Bryson Daly is going to run with it. Runs left, 10-yard line, spun down near the 3, lost the football, able to cover it back up, and that is a gain of 7 on the play. It'll be a couple of yards short of the first down. Sevillano makes the tackle.
You know, it's interesting. They went under center. They went with the wide spread, trips to the left, single receiver to the right, and then he just ran it right up the gut.
Going on the field, the runner was down before the ball became loose. It'll be 3rd down.
So it'll be 3rd and 3 for Army at the Notre Dame 4. 1:40 left in the game. So Army looking to get in here and put up a 2nd touchdown tonight. Udo, the deep back. 3rd down and 3 for Army from the Notre Dame 4. It would be nice to see the Black Knights get in here. Daly waiting. Bryson running left, runs into his own blocker, and then is driven back. A gain of just 1 down to the 3. It's going to be 4th down. Minnick was close by, and one of the group of Irish defenders, including Mukum. Fourth down and 2 for Army from the Notre Dame 3. Under 1 minute left in this 4th quarter. Clock running. Army looking to get in here.
I think they're going to let the play clock get down and call timeout.
So play clock down to 10. Army with 2 timeouts remaining. And looking to give the Black Knights faithful something to cheer about late in this game. Build some momentum heading into what's going to be 3 straight weeks
Army
of games
takes its
we
second
know.
time out of the half.
So the game out in Laramie, Wyoming has gone final. Boise, the number 12 team in the country, defeats Wyoming 17-13. So you can be certain in the new college football playoff poll on Tuesday, Boise State will be the top-ranked group of 5 team. They still have one more regular season game against Oregon State, and then the Mountain West Championship game, which could be against Colorado State. Of course, Tulane in the mix for that group of 5 college football playoff spot. And there's also a wild scenario, Dean, especially with the mayhem going on in the Big 12 Conference and Kansas upsetting Colorado today. Many thought Colorado had the inside track to winning the Big 12 with BYU getting knocked off last week. There's a mayhem scenario where everyone in the Big 12 has 3 or 4 losses, and actually the Mountain West champ and the American champ could jump the Big 12 champion. And those could be the 5 conferences. You'd say 3 of the Power 4s, Big 12, SEC, Big 10, ACC, and then the American and the Mountain West, with the Big 12 being left out. So still a lot of football. It's a long season, and we still got a few weeks to go.
Yeah, and like you said, Army with, 4 more games left, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing. And here we are in Thanksgiving coming around on Thursday.
Usually it's winding down around.
Yeah, right.
Hey, I'll tell you, usually you go into Thanksgiving with just the Navy game left and then whatever bowl game after it. We're going to go into Thanksgiving, UTSA,
Playoff.
Tulane, Navy, and then a college football playoff, an Independence Bowl, whatever other bowls are being rumored out there for Army. Folks saying the Military Bowl, maybe the Armed Forces Bowl, a place we know really well. So it makes college football such a great sport. And Army's going to have to regroup from this.
You just wonder how are going to come out of this game healthy. Let's go down to Tony's.
Hey guys, Trey Granati, by the way, was warming up here on the sideline. I'm not sure if he was campaigning on his own. He was kind of peeking around. Where's Coach? Where's Coach? I'd like to kick here, but Army is going to send the offense on the field.
Maybe he's getting ready for the PAT, Tony.
I'll tell you what, after tonight, Oregon's going to be the only undefeated team in the country. I think Notre Dame giving Oregon a run for the best team in the country.
The Notre Dame defense obviously is real.
Best defense we've seen in quite some time. We've seen some big defenses over the past several years against Army. 4th and 2 for the Black Knights from the Notre Dame 3. Daly runs left with it and looks like he picks up the first down close to the goal line, but is inside the 1 yard line, has the first down, It'll be now 1st and goal for Army. A lot of the Notre Dame defenders thought it was a goal situation, thought they stopped Army and stopped Daly.
They were
and Army's
running
going to
off the
line
field.
up quickly here to try and get in the end zone with 32 seconds to play. And now it appears Notre Dame's going to call timeout.
Yeah. There's going to be a talking to after the game.
And there's
got
an
injured
player. And that is Bodie Cahoon.
Yeah, that wasn't a good look, Rich, by a
Timeout
couple
on the field
of defenders
for injured player on the defense.
to run off to the sideline. You're right. They thought it was a 4th down stop.
And Daly picked up the first down inside the 1 yard line. So Army with 1 timeout, 32 seconds to play. And for folks listening, watching, having us tuned up, I think it would mean a lot for Army to get in the end zone here. It's been a tough night. No one's going to deny that. But to pick up a touchdown late in this game.
I would love to see number 13 get into the end zone because the yeoman work he did tonight, that would be his 39th carry if he gets it right here and gets in the end zone on this attempt. And, well, he will have only scored Army's only 2 touchdowns. But still some tough sledding down there.
So coming out of the timeout, it'll be 1st and goal for Army inside the Notre Dame 1 yard line. 29 seconds to play. Daly waiting. Rendina behind him. A push play. Daly to the goal line. Touchdown, Army! Bryson Daly, his 2nd score of the night, giving Army fans something to cheer about with 22 seconds remaining in this one here at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, they went off that right side, and he was deliberate in his count, and then he got the push from his teammates and got into the end zone.
Rendina didn't even get a chance to push. Daly was already in.
Yeah.
And then Rendina gave him a little help there at the end to make sure he was across. Granati, who, as Tony Marino mentioned, was warming up on the sideline, will now come on to attempt the extra point. Trey 1 of 1 tonight. Snap, ball is down, kick is up, and it's through. So with 22 seconds to play, Army back on the scoreboard. Notre Dame 49 and the Black Knights 14.
And that was one of those long drives, Rich, by Army. 17 plays, 75 yards, 10 minutes and 18 seconds of activity. As Daly has now scored 23 touchdowns on the year.
And that's tops among FBS quarterbacks. And Bryson also missed a game. And now 39 carries, Dean.
Yeah. That's a new career high for him.
And going to have to turn it around. UTSA coming up on Saturday. I always enjoy the trips to San Antonio. And that's now going to be a rivalry we have in conference. That was actually when Army was an independent, a school the Black Knights had regularly scheduled. It was always a good trip for us. Great trip for Army and their recruiting down in that area. Max DiDomenico, Schertz, Texas, just outside of San Antonio. But it'll be a home game, senior day at Yankee Stadium coming up next Saturday. Granati set to kick it away. Hurlman in the middle of everything, the 3 returners. It's a short kickoff, bounces at the 25-yard line, fumbled loose, and then covered up. It was Benjamin Morrison, it appeared, or check that, Aeneas Williams, who got on the football. And Notre Dame with 19 seconds to play. Now we'll just need to take a snap and a knee to close out the ball game. We'll see who comes out at quarterback. Notre Dame folks weren't sure who the number 3 quarterback was going to be tonight. We've seen Riley Leonard and Steve Angeli.
Looks like Angeli.
And it is Angeli coming out for the final snap of the game. Single safety formation with Aeneas Williams, the deep back. And Angeli set to take a knee. And he does. Final seconds tick off the clock. And Notre Dame showing exactly why it's the number 6 team in the nation in a matchup of 2 top 20 teams here at Yankee Stadium. and a renewal of a historic rivalry. It's all Fighting Irish tonight. The number 6 Notre Dame football squad defeats number 19 Army 49-14.
And you look at Notre Dame, they improved to 10-1. That's their 9th consecutive win. Army's 13-game win streak comes to an abrupt end here at Yankee Stadium as they fall to 9-1.
There'll be alma maters, Army and Notre Dame here at Yankee Stadium.